Hey everybody, we're back to hopefully finish Armageddon tonight because, well, but you never know how that goes.
Be-
But we
because,
got,
well, we never know how that goes.
yeah, but
Oh boy,
we
we're in
got
for a
some
kicker.
we got some news. Dan Forden has, I don't know if he's leaving NetherRealm or he's just retiring from games in general.
What he said on his Instagram was like he just kind of wants to reclaim his time and for himself, and I really feel that, appreciate that, and understand that to a degree you wouldn't possibly imagine.
I mean, I can't imagine any of them expected to still be doing MK after so many years.
I mean, when you're in a supervisor position at a large, quite successful company, the money's good. No one
Yeah,
expects to do one thing for the rest of their life, but it somehow very much ends up that way. There was a dude I worked with back at my last game studio. He had been doing compliance since 1998, up to 2020. Believe that, if you can believe that.
but yeah. Well, thanks for Toasty, Dan. That was how'd that get in anyway?
the in the old days, they just really liked inside jokes. It kind of started with them playtesting in the office, and when one of them would beat another, they'd say something like "You got toasted" or something like that, and then it gradually morphed into Dan just going "Toasty."
Yeah, and they just threw it in the game one day. It was while they were playing. I think it was
Yeah.
some sports game, maybe NFL Blitz. I don't know.
It's like, I mean, if you look at the arcade era, and this really peaked in 4, them just sneaking weird sound effects and visual shit into the games just because it made them laugh. And then the effect of that would be that, like, Mortal Kombat, more than any other video game, kids knew the names of the people who made it because their faces are all over the game.
That weird Jarek laugh.
Yeah,
That's an
all right.
incomplete. That's an incomplete soundbite from MK2. Actually, it's in there in the game code, and like it's Felchers. There's reasons that last bit was cut off when they gave it to Jarek, but they must have loved the clip so much that they kept it around. There's a weird little laugh.
Yeah, I don't think it already kind of doesn't make sense, but it makes more sense if you don't have to explain. Why did he call them Felchers? What does that mean?
You know what it sounds like to me? It just sounds like he was doing sound tests and like just tried to like lower and heighten the frequencies a bit, and then just like said whatever shit was on his mind. Someone heard it, and it became like a meme in the office before memes were a thing.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think Jarek was one of the few characters who got a bio in Armageddon.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, a finished bio.
Yeah, and it's, I think we agree, it's the worst bio Vogel ever did.
So
I don't think
here's the problem with the bios in Armageddon in general is that a lot of them were written either to explain their dumbass ending or to explain a dumbass plot hole in conquest mode.
a few of them are written to explain where the character has been, which
Yes,
is always nice.
Most of them are generally good. It's just the ones that are like, and this also applies to Frost in Unchained, is her entire bio and ending exists solely to explain the plot hole in Armageddon.
Oh man, you know what's funny? I'm on mksecrets.net just to like quick reference the bios, and everyone who didn't get one is still listed as not yet added.
Not yet. At any day now. Any day.
And like you said, Vogel probably knew he wasn't going to get to all of them.
Yeah, so I do have a list of all the characters who got a bio. Rain, Jarek, Fujin, Nightwolf, Johnny Cage,
Sonya.
Tenshi, Shujinko, Chameleon with a K, Shang Tsung, Raiden, Sonya, Melina, Ashra, Mitara, Serena, Onaga, and Blaze.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all of them.
Yeah, but there's actually some detail about some of the other characters.
Yeah. For example,
There's little combat cards and stuff.
Nightwolf's bio also doubles as a bio for Liu Kang and Kitana.
Yeah.
It is there where he tells us about, like, the spirit joining and whatnot, and
Yeah.
Well,
Well, basically,
Shang Tsung's fills in a lot for Khan, Goro, Quan Chi a little bit, Dark Raiden a little bit.
It explains how Shang's alive again.
Yes.
Which is apparently that when Shang made the deal with Khan, his soul was eternally bound to him or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now there's a weird flip side to that where it says that if Shang was to ever kill if anyone was to ever kill Shao Kahn, then Shang would die too. That I don't think holds up to scrutiny.
Yeah.
It also completely undermines the way we all wish Deadly Alliance had gone, where, the Deception retcon with Khan shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
I still think those are the worst bios Vogel did if you want to, parade that torch around. Yeah. I find Jarek's stupid bio funny because Jarek is a stupid character and he deserves no more.
It's just So the problem that Jarek's bio and ending have is the exact same problem of, you're watching Annihilation, and Nightwolf goes, "It's my animality. Pretty cool, huh?" These terms cannot possibly actually exist in universe, okay? That doesn't make sense.
Brutality is a real word.
Yes.
Fatality is a real word.
Fatality and brutality are real words, but the way Jarek's using them here is as a technical term for killing someone in an MK game.
Yeah. What was done to me by the Special Forces could only be described as brutality.
That's a fair lie. It's a pun, basically, and I'm fine with that.
I traveled all over the realms looking for ancient texts that would show me a fatality worthy of my betrayer.
See, there it is. That's a fatality. Now he's using the word there is a kind of special move called a fatality.
It is a killing technique within the Mortal Kombat universe. No different than, say, the 5-fingered palm exploding heart technique. It could be a generalized term for a way to murder someone. It doesn't bother me that much.
Okay, imagine if you just rewrote this. So, I searched the texts for a dim mock that could, and that term was when Sub-Zero rips out your spine, he's doing the dim mock. When Johnny Cage punches your head off, he's doing the dim mock. That's not what the dim mock is. It's one thing.
You're too bothered by this. It's funny.
I am super bothered by this.
I mean, Jax even says in MK4, this is not a brutality, this is a fatality. It's not this game's sin. It didn't do it first.
Yeah, but he's doing it as a gag. See, Jax has been to a tournament, and he's heard Shao Kahn say, so-and-so wins fatality. So he has context.
So you can't really blame Jarek for this. You can't really blame Jax
so
for this.
Jax told a joke once, and Jarek went, fatalities are a real thing.
Jax got it from Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung. Jax is not the originator.
Jax was doing a bit. He was doing the James Bond one-liner as he killed the guy.
So you don't believe that at any point Shang Tsung actually said fatality? Because he is the announcer in MK1.
Say it.
He is the announcer in MK1, and when someone dies, you hear him say fatality. Just as Khan was in MK2 and 3.
He's declaring the means by which they won. It's like pinfall or submission. A fatality is not a term.
You are far too bothered.
It's the syntax, okay? It's grammatical. There is a difference between saying so-and-so wins fatality and saying, I'm going to learn the fatalities.
Motherfucker, all the hard C's in this universe are spelt with a K. You lost the battle against grammar long ago.
Johnny Cage is spelled with a C. Scorpion is spelled with a C. The other K's are bullshit and bad writing.
Get out of
Okay,
your
when
house.
Dom Chiancholo changes Chaos Realm from CH to KH, this is not a good thing that we should be celebrating. He's an asshole.
Get out of your house more. Next bio.
But anyway, so I guess we'll cover Nightwolf's bio. Is that, you know, he actually explains that, yeah, he was kind of the one who did the coup de grace against Onaga in Deception.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think actually it kind of explains that, like he's at the good guy summit that Johnny Cage is gathering. It's like we find out that somehow Katana is keeping Liu Kang back, from ascending to the afterlife or something.
Well, yeah, see, when you're a ghost, you're only here because you have unfinished business. Liu Kang finished his business, so now the only thing keeping him from being sucked up into heaven is his love for Katana. And, he's, actively resisting through willpower.
Well, actually, Liu Kang still has the unfinished business with his body still being around.
Yeah, here's the thing about that, is that, his arcade ending in Deception happens after the main story, so it's unclear whether, it's canon. Did he get home and find out about his body yet in Armageddon? Or does he find out about his body for the first time at the pyramid? I guess there are other bios that make it like Kung Lao and Fujin are aware that the zombie is walking around, and they think Raiden's responsible for it.
I believe, I can't remember exactly, but I believe in my bio I had him learn about it before the fact from Kung Lao and Fujin and whatnot, and all the fan fiction shit that I did. And I have him confront his body and Raiden at the very last fight during the pyramid. In the pyramid.
Yeah,
the last
but
I wrote.
In Nightwolf's bio specifically, zombie Liu Kang isn't mentioned, so maybe at this point in time, whenever this bio takes place, Liu hasn't found out about the zombie yet.
Yeah, but we never really got a proper conclusion to zombie versus spirit Liu, did we?
No, we didn't. So why I wrote one.
The last time we see, Ghost Liu isn't in Armageddon, as a character model or anything. Yeah. He's just mentioned in the bios.
He's around. He's just not playable.
Yeah. Zombie Liu, the last time we see him is fighting Shang Tsung at the pyramid.
Well, actually, one thing I want to point out that I love about that is that it's the only time Zombie Liu actually uses his chains to do something.
That entire moment is just utter badassery. It's like you can see the zombie having residual angry memories of Shang Tsung.
Yeah, when he first walks into the scene, his head is twisted sideways and he snaps his neck back into place. I remember what you did to me, motherfucker.
And he growl hisses at him. There's still some neurons firing in there.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I love at the end, he uses the hooks to stop Shang from getting to the top. I think, right?
Yeah. The last shot of the opening is Shang is reaching for Blaze with the hooks in his back, and then Blaze roaring in his face causes him to rapid age back to old man Shang.
Just I think
actually
the soul out of him.
You see Scorpion and Shinnok running up behind Zombie Liu and Shang in that moment. I think.
Yeah. There's always guys in the background doing stuff.
But it's, I think, one of Liu Kang got a bio card said he now exists as a living corpse fueled by vengeance. So it's I think that's what that refers to. It's he does still, the zombie does still remember Shang Tsung. So
yeah.
I can't figure out Shang's face when he sees Zombie Liu. I think he should be more what the fuck? But it seems he's more puzzled than anything.
He's seen weirder shit. He makes weirder shit in his lab all day.
It's true. He is accustomed to the sight of reanimated corpses.
Oh, someone did that, did they? That's inconvenient.
Yeah. But he's all right, this has happened. I'm just going to go with it.
And you know what? So here's the thing that frustrates me about Jarek and that stupid fatality shit.
Oh my god!
No, just give me a moment. Is that when the game came out, Jarek is wearing new outfits in both of his costumes. And like his classic outfit was just green pants and a leather vest. Like it was like casual streetwear for, like a criminal. And then in Armageddon, he's got these bizarre medieval armors on. And he's been given dragon kung fu style in the gameplay, which previously had belonged to Sub-Zero. And I guess I kind of get like Dragon Kung Fu style because he's in the Black Dragon gang. They thought that would be funny. But here's the weird thing is that like his alt costume, the armor looks like a Chinese dragon parade float. Like it is green and brown in both of his outfits, but like it's this weirdly decorative, like fancy medieval shit. And you see that and you're like, oh, are they trying to do something with Jarek? Are they like, where's his story going to go? Is there an explanation for this shit? And then not only is he not mentioning the Black Dragon gang at all in his bio or ending, nothing has to do with anything. Like he's purely a comedy character, and there is no explanation for this weird medieval armor. That's what bothered me.
I mean, that's not related to his bios, but I mean, if you just look at the guy, the armor, both sets, both costumes, the giant axes, the move set, the lasso that he has for some godforsaken reason, like the Rhino Stomp, the switch.
Well, no, the Rhino Stomp is it's his old ground pounder from 4. That's the only move he got to keep. Everything else is fucking different.
Didn't he just rip off Sue Howe's jump, or am I remembering?
No, the Rhino Stomp is he jumps backwards and lands on his back, just like in 4.
All right, fair enough. That's something.
Yeah.
But in general, he's just in Armageddon.
He doesn't throw the glaives anymore. He's got all these weird rope moves.
That's what I'm saying. He's a pastiche of just ideas of just throw it at the wall and see what works. They probably didn't want to give him the glaive because it's like, okay, well, we made a carbon copy of Kano. Let's try to differentiate him a bit by giving him a lasso, something. I don't know.
Right, but there's no cohesiveness to any of it. Nothing comes together to form a character.
I'm agreeing.
It's all random.
It's throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, and the answer is nothing.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't know what you're fucking doing. It's the same thing that happened when they were designing the moves for Darius and Dairu.
Mm-hmm. I feel like their engine really didn't allow for the creativity that normally goes into creating a character in the two-dimensional plane. Most unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. Next bio. Johnny Cage. I think it's like, wow, of all the people who stepped up to be the leader of the good guys, it's Johnny Cage of all characters.
Well, here's what you have to consider.
He's being duped, probably,
yeah.
but it's a nice moment for him.
This was the establishment of what is now a recurring theme, which is that Johnny and Shinnok are natural enemies somehow.
Yeah. Even though that wasn't a thing in MK4.
Remember how MK4 tried to set up Raiden as his arch enemy?
Yeah,
how
right?
Did we get to where we get to where we are?
You know, the two gods from ancient times who have been fighting through the ages? No, Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage! God killer!
Well, Johnny Cage didn't really have an arch enemy.
Well, yeah, that is kind of the thing. This was the one idea they could come up with to boost Johnny up to the A-list, as it were. See, Liu Kang, currently undead. Raiden, currently evil. Sonya, still a woman.
Oh, God.
That's harsh, but man, that poor girl never got her just due in the original series.
Fujin could have been the main hero, but no, fuck Fujin, apparently.
Hey, remember when Kung Lao was going to be like stepping up?
Kung Lao still doesn't get his. It'll never be Kung Lao's time. He exists specifically to be the B tier guy who watches it be somebody else's time.
Kung Lao exists to be murdered. That's what Kung Lao exists.
There have been 3 different games where a main hero slot was open, and they chose not to give it to Kung Lao.
God.
Deadly Alliance, Armageddon, and 12. Not Kung Lao's time. Never gonna be Kung Lao's time.
And I guess it couldn't be Katana for some reason.
Female, vagina. So the the thing is that Johnny is from MK1. You know, he's the last remaining main hero who, you know, they can push for SummerSlam. And to be fair, Sonya does have her own story arc going on in this game. Like, she is one of the characters who got a bio, but her thing, as it always is, involves either her being kidnapped and Jax having to save her, or Jax being kidnapped and her having to save him.
Tell me, Major Briggs, do you and she do anything other than rescue one another?
No, they don't.
It's a valid question. It really is.
Yeah, no, they do not, in fact, do that. Anything else but that. So yeah, Johnny, and I mean, the thing is that it makes sense in this particular context for it to be Johnny, because he is being tricked. Shinnok picked the one hero who is gullible enough to fall for his scheme. That scheme being... Kung Lao would have probably been like, I must consult my wiser friends a little quicker than Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is like, a thing is happening. I've got to tell everybody, which is what Shinnok wanted.
Well,
ooh, shiny thing.
Well, Johnny Cage's bio makes it sound like he absolutely owns Shinnok, but that's probably not what happened exactly.
But there is a bit of unreliable narrator suggested in the text.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I think Fujin's bio even says that Johnny told me this, but it sounds iffy. I don't know about that.
Let me see.
Yeah, let's see. Johnny Cage described his encounter with Shinnok, the fallen elder god thought to have been defeated years ago. I doubted his story. It seems unlikely that Johnny Cage would have psychic powers, and even less likely that he could have defeated Shinnok single-handed. But others present brought forth further evidence that something epic was taking shape.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, here's the thing though, is that Johnny probably did beat up quote unquote Shinnok,
but that
was an illusion Shinnok sent, and he wanted it to go that way.
Shinnok makes Doom bots. He's been in the business of doing Doom bots for a while.
I mean, the other thing is, it's established lore Shinnok doesn't have the ability to escape the Nether Realm unless he has his amulet. But he probably could send copies out if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Which raises the question why he doesn't do that more often, so maybe we shouldn't actually think about that.
It's kind of why I don't like Shao Kahn having Doom bots. It's like, I feel like it should be Shinnok's thing. Trickster God and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's a reason.
And, well, it basically turns out that, let's see, Johnny Cage has the good guy summit. That's basically what...
Yeah. So the bit is that Johnny's, chilling. He's doing his thing. And then, he has a vision of Shinnok, plotting and scheming something. So he goes to a location in the vision and finds Shinnok there and fights him. And then, the information from these visions now confirmed, he's like, Shinnok's plotting things. I've got to tell all the guys. And he's like, wait, what guys are left? Some of the guys are dead. Some of the guys are evil. I guess the only person left to be the point man is me. I guess I'm in charge now.
The first paragraph even reads overdubbing for a movie trailer.
Yeah.
It used to be, when there was a threat to Earthrealm, that Raiden would rally the forces of light to face the enemy in Mortal Kombat. You can hear him narrating it to himself.
Yeah. Somehow, he would always discover the truth behind the deception. I was one of his allies and fought with him against the forces of darkness. In those early days, Liu Kang was the point man. He was the star. The rest of us played supporting roles, clearing the way so he could take on the main threat. But times have changed. Raiden has abandoned us. He's become darker, using more ruthless ways to keep the peace.
Whoa.
And Liu Kang was killed. Though his spirit is still around to help us, eventually he'll pass on to the heavens. It seems like we have no clear leader. We're just not the fighting force we once were. We're scattered all over the realms. Maybe it's because there hasn't been a real threat since we took care of the Dragon King. I don't know. But I can't help but feel uneasy about the future. I used to think, what if there's a new threat? Who's going to lead us? With Raiden gone, how can we even tell when something bad is about to happen? And then the visions, and then he's like, It seems I've discovered the next great threat to Earthrealm. Now I need to find the others. I'll need their help if I'm going to defeat Shinnok's forces. The fate of Earthrealm depends on me.
It should be like, you could just picture like the martial arts choreography between every word. The fate of Earthrealm depends
It's like something like
on me.
Don LaForte would narrate.
It's
Kombat,
definitely.
Armageddon. This film has not yet been rated.
So Shinnok has manipulated Johnny into gathering all the dudes because Shinnok wants the Battle of Armageddon to happen. He has Johnny get all the good guys, and he has Quan Chi get all the bad guys, and he wants the army to be big enough that Blaze will show up so that he can get the prize.
Yeah, so he can be all powerful and all that.
Yeah.
But he sent the clone of himself.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, is that in Shinnok's ending, it's like, yeah, Shinnok can't escape the Netherrealm, so he sent a copy. But the copy beat Blaze, which means now the copy has the power to be a real Shinnok, and there are two Shinnoks, and they have to fight each other.
Yeah.
So we're picturing the Spider-Man image, but it's Shinnok's now. Cool.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. I guess back on BIOS, Sonya, I think, clarifies what she's doing in Conquest mode.
Yeah. She attacks Taven because she's trying to find Jax, because Jax went missing when they were searching the wreckage of the Tekunin warship that crashed.
Yeah, and
because Sector, as we find out in Jax's ending, Sector has kidnapped Jax and tampered with his biotics in order to mind control him.
And that was to set up his ending, which went kind of unexplained.
Yeah.
And I think, well, Serena's bio, I think, was meant to kind of explain why she was with Quan Chi, even though that didn't make sense. So that was
Well, it was also that, but to connect like some interesting things, like, oh, Noob Saibot's arcade ending in Deception almost happened. Like, Sub-Zero was gonna get ripped in half, but she saved him. It's a good thing she was there. So it's like you're establishing, okay, look, Serena's a good guy, and she does care about Sub-Zero, and she is an ally to him. But also this happened, and that's why she's in Conquest mode where she is.
Her bio kind of serves as a catch-all for her, Noob Saibot, Smoke, Sub-Zero a little bit. That's the thing about a lot of these. It's just, Vogel is very careful to do a lot of like grouping of characters together to put them in scenarios where you mostly understand where most of the people are, what's happening with them. Even if they don't actually have bios, you get the gist of what they're up to, if not from the bios themselves, where they're mentioned in Conquest mode.
Yeah, because Sub-Zero doesn't have a bio, but between Serena's bio and what he's doing in Conquest, you can figure him out.
Yeah. And also, what was I going to say? I think with Rain's bio, unfortunately, it doesn't fill in where he's been since MK3.
Been wandering around.
I think Deception Conquest filled in where he's been since MK3. He abandoned the army during the Shao Kahn's invasion when he saw that Khan was going to lose, or maybe Katana talked him into it. It doesn't really matter which. The point is he went AWOL and no longer works for Shao Kahn. And ever since Edenia was restored, he's been in Edenia as a criminal. And then his actual bio is just, one day Quan Chi approached me and told me I'm the son of Argus, and that's what I do now.
Okay. Basically, play on Prince.
Yes, but also, like, Rain finally has a backstory. And this, say what you will about Armageddon, and, like, maybe if you were to try and restore the old timeline, a lot of people would suggest throw out Armageddon and make a sequel to Deception. But the one thing Armageddon has given us that has never gone away and feels valuable and permanent is Rain being the son of Argus.
Well, I think there's a meme of say somebody waking up and seeing Deception Sub-Zero is like, warrior, you have returned. What's this? Chronica? Revenants? What are you talking about? Come on, we have to go defeat the Dragon King.
Armageddon gave us a few things. Gave us
I like Argus and Delia. I actually like Taven and Dagon. I think they need some work. Taven especially has a very generic design. But I think the lore and the world building that Armageddon added is all positive additions to the MK universe. all you need to do is smooth over like the Scorpion bullshit and the way things end. And you could totally make a sequel.
Yeah. And okay, so I guess next character we'll do. I did like the backstory that Vogel gave Ashra and Nitara. You know, that was actually pretty cool.
There was a lot of fleshing out of what had been there prior, but like seen from other eyes. Like to Ashra, this is this holy divine blade and whatnot that, you know, must be used to purge evil, blah 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 blah, and you know, then you have Nitara's going, well, actually, this is what this really is. It's fun. It's two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, I think the Natara Ashra stuff is some of my favorite stuff in the game. Especially because I wasn't really into Ashra in Deception, but the addition of the dark secret agenda of the mind controlling Chris really sort of brought that character to life for me.
Yeah.
And it's my eternal frustration that 12 basically ignored all those parts and only did Deception Ashra.
They didn't read any of these bios, you know.
No, it's fucking...
Like, the way it fleshes out what the Chris actually is fantastic.
Yeah.
The victims had fallen to the blade known as Datusha, the bane of the Moroi. The ancient Chris had found a new wielder. It had returned for vampire blood. Though Datusha's origin has been lost to history, its purpose is clear. It lives to kill as many vampires as it can. We are a powerful race. There are few who threaten our immortality. It has been speculated by the elders that the sword itself may be our one natural predator. A fucking sentient sword in Mortal Kombat that isn't Kenshi's, you know? That seems like such a cool fucking idea to actually play around with. And it never went anywhere.
Yeah, speaking of Kenshi, he got a bio too.
Yes. His bio is large. I'm not a huge fan of Kenshi's bio because it basically says, well, now that the Shang Tsung stuff is done, I don't need to be in the Special Forces anymore. I was just using them, so I quit.
Yeah.
Asshole.
What was there for him to do after that? Because he basically accomplished his goal.
Well, he's now basically going after Movado and the Red Dragons because Movado fucked him up at the end of Deadly Alliance, right?
I mean, no need of the Special Forces, and well, Sub-Zero was my ally. I didn't want to join the Lin Kuei. I went back home, and I'm fine being by myself. And I just went vigilante, and
there's a lot of overlap here. There's a lot of overlap here between this and like what they were supposed to do with Cabal after MK3. Just become a vigilante, you know, and like makes me mad that they didn't do it with Cabal. You know,
see, this is why I made Stryker like in my own like bios, like his local, like the local commissioner of police, because every asshole's out there doing vampire or like vigilante shit across the realms, wandering the realms, killing people. That's your placeholder for you.
Yeah,
but yeah, Kenshi's bio like really establishes his like lone wolf personality, and it ends with him going like, although Johnny Cage is gathering the forces of light, I will be the one to lead them into battle. The lone warrior will become a leader of men. It feels really self-important. You know?
Well, they're trying to do a character development thing here where it's clumsy writing, but the goal is to establish Kenshi's normally a loner, but he must learn to work with the team. In fact, this is Kenshi's time. He's the real hero. He's gonna lead the team because Johnny Cage can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's like
Johnny Cage is cool and Kenshi can't see him.
It's the recognition. There's the writers Vogel recognizing Kenshi is the most popular 3D era character and pushing him to the forefront. Is the goal here. I just really, really wish they didn't, you know, have him quit the Special Forces because that's the best place for him.
Yeah.
And as we've seen in the new games, MKX in particular, the best way for Kenshi to go on missions against the Red Dragons is as a Special Forces agent.
Yeah. And
I'm sure he'll be very reliable. He won't go out to buy smokes and never come back.
And well, with Shujinko, I think it explains why he's in Shao Kahn's dungeon in conquest mode. That's his bio.
I feel like, you know how Dragon Ball fans complain about the meme that Goku is a bad dad?
Yeah, but that's
how I
That's how
feel
people
whenever
feel about
whenever Shad talks about Kenshi. That's how I feel.
I don't know. The Goku is a bad dad got exaggerated.
Look, I'm not
abandon his son in the care of other people a lot. And yes, there are always circumstantial reasons. Same is true with Kenshi and Takeda and Scorpion.
It's halfway a meme with me, dude. I don't think he means to be a bad father. I just think he's kind of an asshole. His first bio establishes that he gets blinded because he is kind of an asshole.
Well, yes.
He leads the Special Forces. He leads Sub-Zero. These new allies he's forged partnerships with because he's kind of an asshole. I just think that even though he is a good person, for the record, kind of an asshole is a valid part of his personality.
Okay,
certainly is for Kung Lao.
The whole thing, though, is that Kenshi's supposed to be on an arc where he starts as an asshole and learns.
I don't know that we've ever gotten valid evidence of that. It's like we get to like 2/3 of the way through, maybe if we're lucky, in both continuities, and there's
okay, but he's such a nice guy in MKX. All of his intros and dialogue in the story mode is him being super nice.
That's what they say about them, don't they? He was such a nice guy.
Okay.
Shujinko!
So Shujinko, we talked about last time. He's got he is invited by quote unquote Kitana to Shao Kahn's fortress, which the Edenians have seized. But it's actually Melina, and Shao Kahn has taken the fortress back, and Shujinko's walking into a trap. But Shujinko figures it out and lets the trap get sprung anyway, because he's like, I'm the most powerful. I'm just gonna take him. He just goes, nah, I'd win.
There's a bit going on with Shujinko under the surface here.
He still feels super guilty about Onaga coming to power, and like he doesn't deserve to be held up as the hero of Outworld. And he's like, if I can kill all the bad guys, I'll finally have earned the respect they're showing me, and I'll, feel better about myself.
And you combine this, I don't know, you combine this with like the dialogue he has in Conquest with Taven about like him going to the Soul Chamber. There's the implication that he's probably gonna like kamikaze blow the whole thing up, probably taking himself along with it. And there's the implication there to me that he's always lived with more guilt than he really lets on. There's underneath all like the swagger and whatnot, and like it's slowly peeling off of him. Like the more time passes, the more he realizes how much he screwed up, how close he almost brought the world to ending at Onaga's hands. And there's like this beneath the surface, this urge to self-sacrifice, not quite kill yourself, but like to atone in the most direct and most effective way possible. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always thought that Shujinko got more development in this one bio and in Conquest than people really let on.
His ending, he basically goes mad with power.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's bullshit. It's terrible.
Yeah. Arcade endings in this game, a fucking nightmare. Okay, we're gonna skim through some of the choicest cuts when we get to the end of these bios.
Yeah.
If you can add a toilet flushing sound effect after we read each one, that'd be great.
It's a goddamn joke. So yes. Did we do Fujin?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We skimmed it in mentioning Cage.
Yeah, I mean the Fujin's bio is kind of, the gist is that he's the one who's kind of figured out what's happened with Raiden becoming dark, and him and Kung Lao are working together. Like, they're aware of Armageddon, and that's big important, and they're going to be there for that too. But they're also like, one of their big priorities is dealing with Raiden and Liu.
Yeah. And so this kind of doubles as a bio for Kung Lao.
Yeah, but there's like the second paragraph of Fujin's bio is about him like, oh, Kenshi knew something about Taven and Dagon. I used to know Taven and Dagon like 10,000 years ago. They went missing, and Argus wouldn't tell me what happened. And now Taven's running around in Earthrealm. I'm going to have to stop him so I can figure this out. And it's supposed to explain why Fujin shows up in conquest mode and is kind of a stubborn asshole in Taven's way.
Yeah. And well,
it tells us that he and Kung Lao are going to go and confront Liu Kang's corpse and Raiden along with it to find out like what the deal is with them.
But that doesn't really go anywhere in their endings, I think.
As many things don't.
Yeah, Fujin's ending is... He creates a new realm from the shattered remnants of worlds that had fallen victim to Shao Kahn's aggression. From there, the forces of light will stage their operations with Kung Lao as Fujin's commanding general. That doesn't make any sense because Shao Kahn doesn't destroy realms. He merges them into Outworld. Fujin's just describing taking over Outworld.
It's like they took the B-tier hero and the B-tier god and like paired them up for duos.
Like, well, Raiden has Liu Kang, so I guess Fujin has Kung Lao. And that's, first of all, Fujin and Kung Lao have almost the exact same moveset. Fujin's always kind of been a copy of Kung Lao because in mythologies he was played by Tony Marquez. This is not necessary. And also not helpful. And also the ending doesn't even make sense, like I said.
Also, forcing Fujin to spend time with Kung Lao is unfair and cruel and unusual punishment.
Maybe Kung Lao would benefit from it because Fujin is the nicer god. Like he's the better character than Raiden.
Just relax, smoke a joint with Fujin, and watch some Johnny Cage movies.
Well, I guess if we're gonna get into endings, I guess I'll talk about Kung Lao when we get into the endings a little bit because that ending kind of confirms something that we all hated.
I don't remember what that was, and I'm sure we'll get to it. I'll probably force it out of my psyche.
It mentions a rivalry between him and Liu Kang. Like, Kung Lao is basically acknowledging Shaolin monks, even though Shaolin monks wasn't canon.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. I don't have a problem with the rivalry bit. I have a problem with the way Kung Lao's written about it, you know?
Yeah, I agree. So, let's see. Go Chameleon.
Yay!
We've kind of covered her, I think, though, in MK3 and all that.
We went over it a little bit. I mean, the gist of like back in Trilogy, she did hook up with Reptile and try to convince him to turn on Shao Kahn, and
for like 5 minutes.
They got straight up to the door, and Reptile chickened out at the last second.
Turns on her. This is the bio that tells all that. It's one of the ones from the 3D camera games that like fleshes out the end and the events of Mortal Kombat 3 a little bit. So
yeah, that just is like Reptile is too much of a whipped dog. He's not, the hope for the future of the Raptor race. But there's interesting world building in here that Chameleon's bio is the one that tells us. I'll read the whole thing. For a long time, I had given up hope. It seemed that Shao Kahn was invincible. His allies served and protected him, and those who fought against him only seemed to make him stronger. It was as if he fed on combat itself. Now, the implication here, because we already had established in the previous game that Shao Kahn is a former god of Outworld, that he was the protector like Raiden is to Earth, and then he gave it up to steal the throne from Onaga because he'd rather rule than advise and serve. So, with this addition of, like, being around fighting makes Shao Kahn stronger, it implies that, we don't know what he was the god of. So he was a god of war, maybe, because this is exactly how Ares' powers work in the DC universe. The Greek god of war, who's in a bunch of Wonder Woman stories.
He fries off conflict.
Yeah.
It's never stated outright, but I think it's a pretty good read.
So then Chameleon finds out about, the power of Blaze. She's going to go to the pyramid and get it for herself so she can overthrow Shao Kahn and punish him for destroying the Raptors.
Yeah.
And then her ending, Blaze's power, gives her the the ability to turn people into raptors,
But
also they will be mind controlled. So she turns Shao Kahn into a raptor and makes him serve her.
Yeah.
It's weird that like it doesn't really bring up reptile at all.
No, yeah. I would also suggest if the power to bring back your race also places them all under mind control, I don't know if that's actually what you should be wanting.
Not a good ending.
Yeah. I think my least favorite ending is Scorpions, but I'll get into that later.
Yeah. So
in my skin.
then we've got Shang Tsung's ending, which we talked about a little. It explains him having sold his soul to Shao Kahn when he entered his service. And so when he blew up in the beginning of Deception, his soul, instead of going to the afterlife, traveled to Shao Kahn, and Shao Kahn went to the flesh pits and put it in another body. And those spare bodies Shang keeps in the flesh pits are also Meat's origin.
Yay, Meat.
Yeah, because it specifically says when Kahn brings Shang back, Shang doesn't have skin. So they've got to go to Li Mei's village and kill everybody so Shang can steal all the souls and heal himself and have skin and be at full strength. So yeah, the village of Sundo is all fucking dead, wiped off the fucking map.
Poor Li
Holy man.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it says that Shang, Kahn, and Goro take Khan's fortress back from Melina and the Edenians. And then it's all about Shang plotting against Kahn. He's like, okay, well, now I know that selling my soul thing is real. I kind of thought that was just paperwork. I didn't think it would actually work that way. Now I've got to figure out a way out of that. Maybe if I get the power of Blaze, I could break that contract.
That way I can become the new leader of the Decepticons.
Yeah,
He's right back into Starscream mode.
Yep.
Wipe the fuck away.
Oh, yeah.
He's back 5 minutes.
I love that. I always imagine it'd be like they kind of had a Shao Kahn, Megatron, Starscream dynamic. Like
it is absolutely the exact same thing. Shang Tsung is in Shao Kahn's. For Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung is the epitome of the useful idiot.
Yeah.
Except Shang Tsung actually has a brain up there. That's the only real difference.
It's like, you'd be like, you fool Starscream. It's like, why do you keep this guy around, Megatron?
Always lives to regret it.
Yeah. So then Shang's ending, I'll just go over one little bit of it because we're pointing out the stupid. With the power of Blaze, Shang turns Shao Kahn into a centaur slave and becomes the ruler of Outworld. Now here's my question. Why a centaur?
What?
Like, if you have the power to enslave people, mind control, that's fine. Why a centaur?
Maybe it's
to make him his own personal horse, of course.
Yeah, so he can ride Shao Kahn around. Is that what Shang is into?
maybe it's a kink for him.
It's a reversal dynamic. He's felt like Shao Kahn's ridden him his whole life. Now he wants to return the favor and make it literal. I got nothing.
It's dumb. It's fucking dumb.
It's absolutely stupid. All
right.
It's fucking terrible.
So then we have Raiden's bio, which explains how he brought Liu Kang back as a zombie. Now, here's the thing. So Fujin and Shang Tsung's bios, which we just covered, they're where it explains how Raiden became dark in the first place, because Deception didn't explain that. So what it gives us is that normally when a god dies in the way that Raiden died, where their essence is released into the atmosphere, what is supposed to happen is that the energies that made up that god will return to the home realm the god comes from, Earth realm in this case, and collect again and reform into a living being. Except that it works like, classical Hindu reincarnation, where this newborn god is a different person than the previous life. Raiden he wouldn't have had any memories of his old self. He would have been literally born anew. but something went wrong in the process, and that's why Dark Raiden remembers Raiden's life. And also, the reason that he's dark, the reason that his energies were tainted and the process went wrong in the first place, is that because him, Shang, and Quan Chi died in the same place at the same time, their souls like kept fighting on the way to the afterlife and wrestled entangled with each other. And so some of Quan Chi and Shang Tsung's soul energy has rubbed off on Raiden and gotten into him. Similar to how Li Mei absorbed some of the mummy when her soul was put into the Onaga mummy and then pulled back out. So if your soul gets tangled with another soul, they could totally rub off on you and become part of you.
You have to kind of infer this, because again, it's not stated outright. It's first sentence of Shang Tsung's bio paragraph. In an instant, Raiden's blast destroyed us all. Our souls intertwined. We did battle in the ether. That's the word intertwined is what you kind of have to pay attention to there.
Yeah, and then it just says like Fujin's bio is like normally when a god dies like that, they're supposed to be reincarnated as a new person with no memories, but Raiden has his memories and also he's evil. So something went weird with the process. And I don't know what, and I'm going to figure it out. I just think it's interesting that all of that is in their bios and none of it's in Raiden's own bio. Raiden's own bio is simply him going, "No longer will I entrust the safety of Earthrealm to the free will of mankind. The time has come to take matters into my own hands," which is the same stuff he was saying in his Deception bio and ending.
Yeah, he wouldn't really have insight into how he's changed. He can't see it for himself.
I suppose not. Like, from his point of view, he hasn't been tainted and become evil. He's just decided to stop fucking around.
It's kind of like he underwent a kind of an involuntary personality reboot, and there's just... It's basically like he's missing all the good qualities that he's learned throughout his existence.
So then the bio goes into how long ago in Earth's ancient history, he fought a group of necromancers called the Hoan. And the Hoan, he like studied their spells, and that's how he brings Liu Kang back as a zombie. Like the reason Liu has the chains is that they're magically enchanted with these Hoan spells to make it possible for Raiden to control the zombie.
They're literally puppet strings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it says, though I tried to conceal my activities, my use of the dark energies did not go unnoticed. Shinnok appeared before me and proposed an alliance. He would help secure the protection of Earthrealm in return for my aid in some undisclosed plot. And this is, Raiden attacking Taven in story mode.
Yeah.
But I am no fool. I know well the treachery of this former Elder God. I accepted his offer and will complete this task, but only to discover his true objective. Until then, I will use Shinnok to serve my own ends.
Do you think me a fool, Fallen One? I accept.
Yeah, right? Like, I know he's up to something, and I'm gonna play along with it. And then I'll... Yeah.
You have to give, what little we get out of Conquest Mode credit for this, because it's like, you have Shang Tsung and Quan, you have Shang Tsung well, which of us is going to turn on each other first? Oh, Quan Chi's we're all a treacherous, horrible lot, and, backstabbing is to be expected. It's going to happen. Let's not lie to ourselves. We all know why we're here. We know how this ends, but let's work together for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. The I'm gonna play along until I get the opportunity to turn on you plan doesn't work if you wait too long to do the turning. Do you remember in Aftermath when Shang takes the crown and becomes young again, and Raiden and Fujin go, "Haha, we knew you would do that," and then they still get their asses beat?
Yeah.
What
good is knowing if you don't do it?
Yeah. See, you just need to be the first guy. That's all you need. Good times.
We knew you were playing us. Well, why didn't you stop him then?
And, well, What bio have we not done yet? Have we done the
Let's see. Sonya's searching for Jax.
We already did that.
Sector is Mike. Melina. So Melina's bio is just about, after Deception, she's like, I'm going to keep pretending to be Kitana because the Edenian army is following me and it's working out in my favor and it's great. So she uses the Edenian army to claim Shao Kahn's fortress, and basically she's like, now I'm the queen of Outworld. I finally have the thing. And then 5 seconds later, Shao Kahn walks in the door.
Yeah.
And she immediately bends the knee.
God damn it!
Yeah. She immediately bends the knee and helps them kill the Edenians to take, give the castle back.
Go on.
And then she's like, she's playing along. She's like, I know I can't beat Shao Kahn. I've got to let him have the throne back. But god damn it, I was so close.
Yeah, and she's like,
I would actually define this as an important bit of character development for her, because up to this point, she's kind of like lived to replace Kitana to win Shao Kahn's appreciation in his eyes, and now we're at a point where she's had her own taste of power. She's been Kitana. She's had everything that she wanted to have.
Yeah, she's actually like achieved all of her goals, and this is like Deception and Armageddon is the big character development turning point for Melina, where she no longer wants or needs her rivalry with Kitana anymore. And she realizes that
Shao Kahn's approval either.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the point where she gives up being Shao Kahn's devoted daughter and decides, I'm going to stab him in the back. I want that throne for myself.
Congratulations, Melina. You may now take your place among the pantheon of traitors.
Yes, she is. She has finally become a fully actualized person.
Roll up, stand next to Rain, wedge yourself in between Noob Saibot and Reptile. Everyone who's ever wanted Khan dead for any reason whatsoever. A little bit of Shiva space. Oh, God.
Although, in her arcade ending is her using the power of Blaze to switch her face with katanas and put Kitana in the dungeon. So she's still she's hanging on to that bitterness a little bit.
it's the one thing that she surely wants that she can't have by force alone. That ending, I like it because it does make a little bit of sense. It's perfectly keeping in character.
Yeah, it's
that one thing.
It's rare when an Armageddon ending actually makes sense. This one does.
Good stuff. So next was Ashra, which we've kind of gone over.
Yeah, we kind of put Ashra and Nitara together.
Yeah.
Who have we not done? Onaga. We haven't done Onaga.
Yeah, Onaga's ending basically just explains why he's here after he got beat in Deception.
Yeah.
It's like, so Shujinko shattered the Kamidogus, and then Nightwolf sucked my soul out of Reptile and trapped it in the Netherrealm. And then Shinnok showed up, and he broke Nightwolf's spell, so I'm free. And he put my soul back in my original body that was in my tomb. And so this is an important bit because a lot of fans think if Onaga's soul was in different characters' bodies, then it would look like a hybrid of Onaga and that character. Like you often see, people have talked a lot about the MKX comic wanting to do an arc where Goro would become Onaga, and then he'd be some, half Goro, half Onaga design with 4 arms. This establishes that, like, what Onaga's soul turned Reptile into wasn't half Reptile, half Onaga. It was 100% Onaga. Because when his soul was put into his own body, his corpse in the tomb, he looks like he did in Deception.
It's because people also look at that Deadly Alliance artwork and don't realize that was a beta version of the Dragon King.
Yeah, that was unfinished. That was just concept art. That wasn't canon.
It was concept art, and like they see that as the form that he used to reign under, and Onaga's new form as being a reptile thing. It's a few factors which lead people to that conclusion. It's a little understandable if you don't have context.
Yeah. So anyway, Shinnok brings Onaga back under the, requirements that Onaga will actually work together with Shang and Quan and Shao Kahn. Which obviously Onaga has some real problems with working with Shao Kahn. But all of these guys feel the same. They're like, yeah, we're lying for 15 minutes and then we're going to kill each other. We just need to make sure the good guys don't get Blaze's prize. That's all.
Honestly, the honesty is a little bit refreshing in and of itself, I find.
Yeah. I will pose as Shinnok's pawn and join Quan Chi's alliance. Shao Kahn will never reach Blaze, but I would be a fool to allow Dagon victory. Once I have slain the fire elemental and taken the prize for myself, I will have Shinnok's head. Onaga serves no one. Typical stuff.
Yeah.
You're boasting. I think Blaze is next and last.
Yes.
And I kind of like how Blaze starts and continues, because it just demonstrates the fallibility of the golem and its creation and what it can and can't do.
Mm-hmm.
My initial quest was interrupted when I was forced to guard a dragon egg for many years. When I awoke from enslavement, I felt altered in some way. Though I understood the reason I was created, I sensed that something was fundamentally wrong. Casting my uncertainty aside, I returned to my given task.
Yeah.
He knows something is wrong. Something is incorrect. There is an error in the program.
Yeah, something feels off. I can't worry about that right now. Too important.
Scanning for errors. 132 errors found. Would you like to fix these errors? Yes, no. You have selected no. Continuing to run program. That's all it is. And, he basically, searches the realms after he wakes up, as we all know, and he's like, oh god, the amount of combatants with a K that are out there is just massive. Oh, hey, Onaga's back. The realms are weakening because of the strain of all of their powers. It's time to awaken their brothers. I let loose a psychic scream. And yet, nowhere in this bio does it mention Carol or Orin somewhere. You'd think that would be the reason. You'd think that they would be included.
Well, no, hold on. It says, I let loose a psychic scream, the signal to the dragons to awaken the sons of Edenia. That's the only mention of Orin and Kara, but it is there.
I just feel like there should be more, something to better link this with the Conquest plot. It's unfortunate. Anyways, shortly thereafter, I searched for the brothers to monitor their progress. It just, between these paragraphs here, it just feels like there's just something missing to me, right? I let loose a psychic scream to signal the dragons to awaken their brothers. And later on, I went, see how they were doing. Maybe it just serves to undercut how haphazard and ramshackle this entire plot was. It's like, it's the biggest convoluted.
For what I said about liking Rain's new backstory and the addition of Argus, a protector god for Edenia, and his wife and the sons and all that story, Blaze is the weakest thing about Armageddon. He is not a character. He is a one-note plot device.
So I sent the signal to wake the brothers up. Oh, okay. Apparently Dagon's already up. Must monitor situation. Must run scan disk for errors. It seems my task has been interrupted. I was not created to interfere, but the time may come when I'll have to intercept the brothers to help ensure. It's basically an entire prelude to the fact that he realizes at the end of Conquest something is terribly wrong. I must place these two clusters back in their correct. It's just him defragmenting. That's all it is.
He's like, this is not supposed to happen, but I gotta fix this.
Well, as we find out in Taven's stuff, what exactly is wrong is that the prize has been altered. The energy within him by Onaga's priest forcing him to guard that egg, the spells they put on him has changed the way the quest will work. So now when Taven wins and the energy passes through his armor, instead of depowering or killing everybody, it makes them more powerful. It makes Armageddon worse.
And Taven has to figure out a way to stave it off for the time.
Yes. Which would have been a good sequel hook if there had been a sequel, but instead they decided, nah, everybody's dead in time travel, MK9.
Yeah.
Motherfucker needed to install Norton Disk Doctor by himself and renew the subscriptions automatically.
So I guess now we got to get into endings.
We do.
Yeah.
That sounds like a cue for me to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay, go ahead.
You can just start raffling them off. Just imagine the sound of me urinating. It's all,
Well-
it's all it's worth.
I know that you wanted to get into Scorpions because you think it's the worst. I just wanted to pick out a few choice ones that I think make the least sense.
Okay. I was wondering how we do this. I was like, should we go in alphabetical order or should we just no. Let's see. What's a good way to pull up the endings?
I would go to MK Warehouse.
Okay.
So, I guess I'll just read off Scorpions, and then you can get your problems with it.
Should we wait till Shad comes back?
I think he went to the bathroom on purpose to avoid talking about this. Okay, so, as the fire of Blaze was extinguished, what appeared in its place brought elation to Scorpion's tormented soul. His ninja clan, the Shirai Ryu, had been fully resurrected. Numbering in the thousands, they covered the surface of the pyramid awaiting Scorpion's command. Among them was Scorpion's wife and son. Their reunion was to be short-lived. The sorcerer Quan Chi suddenly appeared among them. He grabbed Scorpion's young son and disappeared through a portal to the Netherrealm. Enraged, Scorpion orders his clan to hunt down the sorcerer. He will not rest until his son has been recovered and Quan Chi is dead.
Yeah, okay. My biggest problem with this ending is that in terms of giving characters closure, this ending fails on every level. It's basically just like, here we go again. Like,
Yeah, we're just going straight back to Scorpion versus Quan Chi and leaving it a cliffhanger for next time, which there will not be a next time.
Yeah. Well, no, one thing I find, it's like, how was Quan Chi able to, like, Quan Chi just kidnap Scorpion's son because I guess he just felt like being a dick?
Well, he can teleport. And yes, he does feel like being a dick.
And one thing I don't get is that if Scorpion's clan came back, shouldn't their Grandmaster have come back too? How come Scorpion's in charge?
In theory, yes, but Scorpion has been alive for, at that point, 15-ish without the rest of the clan around, so maybe he has seniority now? And also, it was him who brought them all back, and they should be fucking grateful.
Yeah. Well, you back, Shad?
Yeah, who we pissing on?
We're still talking about Scorpion.
Basically, I think it's just in terms of giving characters like closure, it fails on every level because it's like a cartoon. Whoops, here we go again type of ending.
Let's see. Reviewing it. And fire ablaze extinguished. Ninja clan Shiryu resurrected. Scorpion's wife and son are in hell for some reason. Reunion short-lived. Quan Chi, something appears among them. Oh yeah, he kidnaps the boy and goes through. Grrr! Scorpion must continue his revenge dog shit. Next.
Yeah, well, actually, but one thing I want to point out, I think this is where we actually learned that Scorpion's child was a boy.
Probably.
It was always sort of vaguely described in previous stuff, yeah. It was unclear how
it's
old
always
the
my
kid was,
family
whether he's
and
a boy or
clan.
girl. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The I mean you had stuff like the Rovan novel, obviously not canon, like in that the Scorpion's family is Korean and Scorpion possesses his own son to come back from the dead. But yeah, generally in canon they hadn't really said yet much about Satoshi.
In MK1, it was like the quote was left behind a wife and child in a former life.
Yeah.
They don't specify the gender.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it is notable for making it officially a boy. Congratulations, it's a boy.
Yeah, well, they didn't have the names Hiromi and Satoshi yet. I want to point out.
No, there's a bit of an adventure getting there because the first thing to give them names was actually the MK Legacy web series, and it called them Kana and Jubei, which the MKX comic then used because Kittleson got all of his understanding of Scorpion's backstory from the web series. even though MKX came out before the MKX comic did, and MKX was the first time they were called Harumi and Satoshi, and Kittleson apparently didn't have that part of the fucking script.
Well, that just shows you how much miscommunication there is between NetherRealm and their writers.
Yeah.
It's not just, you can't really single NRS out for that. Like I've mentioned multiple times, I've worked in game development before, and in any mega corporation, gaming is no exception, the right hand does not know what the left is doing. This is a generalized mega corporation problem. And it really shouldn't be with such a well-established franchise at this point, but here we are.
Yeah. So, okay. Scorpion getting that crazy power boost speed Onaga was such Ed Boon. Well, that didn't actually happen.
All right, so let's talk about some of the wacky, batshit, insane endings.
Okay.
Let's, by all means.
I would like to start with Tanya.
I don't remember hers.
The Fire of Blaze transformed Tanya into a being known as a dragon caller. With the mere thought, she was able to summon dragon spirits from the ether into corporeal form. With an army of dragons at her command, she conquered the universe realm by realm. Soon Shao Kahn himself would call her master. What the fuck does Tanya have to do with dragons?
Dragons?
When has she ever done anything dragon stuff in a previous game?
Oh, good shit.
Well,
Out of nowhere.
And there's another ending I want to talk about.
Okay.
Bring up Katana's ending.
Ah, yes. One of the classic Charlie's Angels references.
Yeah, I don't know why they did this because it's never been a thing with Katana before, but it is now.
Teen Girl Squad!
Yeah. They did it. They even more on the nose in 9, where they could have the pictures too. Like they could do the shot of 3 people back to back in silhouette from the fucking Charlie's Angels opening.
Guys, it's 3 women together. That means it's like Charlie's Angels, right? Right?
I don't know if Ed Boon knows this, but most of the people who were playing, even Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 in the arcades, were not born yet when Charlie's Angels aired.
Would you like Conan the Barbarian as DLC? Generation of players in 2023.
Now, here's the thing. Conan at least came out in the 80s. If I was playing MK1, I do know Arnold Schwarzenegger as Conan.
See, that's the thing. You and me, we recognize that. The main generation of players that are like half our age, I have literally seen people go, who the fuck is Conan?
Well,
you can't blame him for that. The guy has not had a good movie since we were babies.
It was one of Arnold's first films, and there have not been Conan movies since Arnold, except for a really bad reboot with Jason Momoa.
That's the only one.
My favorite part in Conan is I think it's where he confronts James Earl Jones' character. He's like, "Oh, how come you're killing everybody I love?" He's like, "You killed my mother. You killed my father. You took my father's sword." He's like, that must have been when I was younger.
The thing is, if it's something from the 80s pop culture will never stop being relevant in America because all of our best stuff was made then and people still recognize that. And the stuff being made today is a lot of corporate slop trying to imitate things that were created in the 80s.
You know what the 2 best Conan releases?
Charlie's Angels was the fucking 60s. Nobody cares.
No, I think that was the 70s.
It might have been the 70s. Let me look.
I'm pretty sure it's 70s. You know what the best Conan releases post the original Arnold stuff is? Killer Instinct when you select Tusk.
Mm-hmm.
And Shin Wrath.
The thing I don't get is why would Katana's ending be like, why would she form an all-female fighting squad?
Because there are 3 women who dress. There are 3 women who dress like each other. Therefore, they belong together in a Charlie's Angels setting. Just like how Fujin and Kung Lao are B-listers. Therefore, they should form a team. The logic.
Well, here's the thing. Is that the actual the MK9 one was Katana Melina Jade. The Armageddon one is Katana Sindel, Jade Sonya, and Lee May. So it's not necessarily playing on the fact that they're the palette swaps. It's solely playing on the fact that they all have vaginas.
Is that dumber or smarter?
I think it's dumber.
Okay.
I think both are really fucking dumb, though.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm glad you told me. I'm glad you just clarified who it actually was, because both of those endings just merged together into my mind in a haze of stupidity, and I don't actually care to read either one. It's so fucking dumb.
That is the correct mental response.
Okay, you got another.
All right, I reserve the right to read the next one.
So for the record, Charlie's Angels was 1976 that it started. Now here's a question. Let me pose to you: how would you feel if the guest characters for Mortal Kombat 13 were the $6 Million Man, the Biotic Woman, and David Hasselhoff in Knight Rider?
I love it. I'd pay money for it. Do you know, Razor, what I wouldn't give? What I wouldn't give to be able to hear.
Wait.
5 times around.
No. Correct me if I'm wrong. That would be amazing.
Knight Rider, was that what the Simpsons was making fun of with Nightboat?
Probably yes. Yes, Knight Rider was a show in which David Hasselhoff played like a private eye sort of guy who drove around solving crimes with a car that had an artificial intelligence, a talking car.
Oh, it was Nightboat. Go Nightboat, go! Oh, every week there's a canal or an inlet or a fjord. Quiet! I will not hear another word against the boat.
I'm just gonna say, you know those giant cars that kids pedal around? You buy them for like your 5-year-old.
Yes.
And they can just like pedal around. I had a Knight Rider when I was a kid.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was the coolest shit. Some fucker up the street had a Dukes of Hazzard car. At the time, I was jealous.
But
now I know I was the champion.
Now, hold on. Can we get the Dukes of Hazzard for Mortal Kombat, or does the...
Just fucking picture the Shao Kahn dialogue. Boss hog.
Does the flag on the General Lee pose a problem for that?
Oh my god, yes it does. Oh my god.
So, okay.
Them Duke boys went it outrolled. They were going to have themselves a time.
Hold on. Do you remember in the 2000s that they rebooted Dukes of Hazzard with Johnny Knoxville?
Oh my god, I have forgotten it.
Yeah, I think it was it him and Sean William Scott? It was definitely Johnny Knoxville.
Uh-huh.
Okay, back to endings.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. So what's your next ending to bring up, Razor?
Okay.
I want to do Kintaro because this
Fuck
is
you! I wanted to read Kintaro.
You can read it.
All right. Upon defeating Blaze, a thunderous voice offered Kintaro 4 magic swords. Each would be infused with the power of any warrior of his choosing. Kintaro resolved to give the weapons the powers of fire, ice, chaos, and order. As if wielded by invisible hands, each blade found its victim and slew him. The vanquished souls were transferred to the weapons, and there they will reside. With the powers of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Havoc, and Hotaru at his command, none will challenge Kintaro and live.
Oh, God.
But why, though?
Because he has 4 arms and he needs 4 things to do. And he do the ice and the fire and the chaos and the order. It's so fucking stupid.
It is
Kintaro's 4 Magic Swords Adventure, now available on a Game Boy Advance. Fuck you.
Okay, here's my
Rod Schneider,
He's about to find out it's not that easy.
Okay, let's see. I want to say this.
Ramen is a steak.
Okay, here's Kenshi's ending, which is just he gains increased sensitivity and all his other senses, but because he's so overloaded with sensory, he just decides to remain isolated in a mountain cavern for the rest of his life. And it's like
Yep. His senses are too strong now.
it's like that's his ending.
Yeah, some of these are a big fuck you to that character. I would like to point one out just to contrast, like a good
nice
ending,
a good one.
a good, like one that makes sense, just to compare against these stupid ones.
Do it.
In Sindel's ending, she uses Blaze's prize to bring Jared back to life.
Holy God! It's
That's
logic, Batman.
That's all she does. She just brings back King Jared.
Reaching into the heavens, she pulled his soul back to Edenia and made him flesh once more. The reunited Jared, misspelled Gerard, Sindel and Katana formed the Triad of the Just.
Can I point this out? I don't know if this is Murdoink misspelling them when he put them on the website, or if this is how they're actually spelled in the game. But the text here spells Jared wrong twice, and it's wrong differently both times. Like it's J-E-R-O-D the first time and J-A-R-O-D the second. And the way it's supposed to be spelled is J-E-R-R-O-D.
Yeah.
So neither is right.
No, actually, would it go an ending I like? I like Liu Kang's ending.
I mean, Liu Kang's ending is fine. His soul and his body remerge, and he's back to life, and that's pretty much it.
Well, no, it says
okay, so I'm watching Sindel's ending right now. Gerard, J-E-R-O-D, once,
Mm-hmm.
and made him flesh once more. J-A-R-O-D.
So in the game, they misspelled Jared's name differently twice in the same ending. Amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking beautiful, man.
Well, what I wanted to say about
Yeah.
Liu Kang's ending actually does serve as a nice little.
Oh yeah, it has a little more. After Liu's body and soul get remerged, it says Liu Kang reluctantly defeated his mentor in an epic clash. With consent of the Elder Gods, he replaced Raiden as protector of Earthrealm.
Yeah, that kind of ignores Fujin, but
well, Fujin hasn't been doing that great a job.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
Fujin had this like mindset.
That's the problem with the whole 3D era. Is Fujin feels like a filler mentor. Yeah. He never actually got to do Raiden stuff.
You know, because Raiden is who he is, and like we're kind of inadvertently get Fujin as kind of being the guy that's a bit closer to humanity. I wouldn't have a hard time believing that Fujin doesn't really want the job. That he'd rather be hanging out watching Johnny Cage movies. So I think that Liu Kang would be okay with it. Like, he'd be okay with Liu Kang taking the position instead.
Yeah. It kind of goes to show that they always had the mindset that Liu Kang would take Raiden's place.
It does, yeah, like, it does set up, because Liu does the same stuff again in his MK9 ending, but angrier. And then he does it canonically in 11 finally. So
it's been a long-standing idea.
Okay.
A lot of the NRS era feels like them just finally doing things they wanted to do at the end of Deception or Armageddon and weren't allowed to because of the reboot.
Yeah.
So like you could just ball up all of that shit and make an Armageddon sequel out of things that happen in X and 11. And it would have been a better universe.
Oh, actually, here's a yeah. I think I got the next ending I want to talk about.
Okay.
Quan Chi's ending.
Yeah, Quan Chi's is what I was going to get to.
Yeah.
Okay, so the defeat of Blaze enhanced Quan Chi's already powerful sorcery beyond his imaginings. The surge of energy was so great that it shattered his medallion. In his arrogance, Quan Chi ascended from Edenia to assault the heavens. There, he confronted me with the Elder Gods at my side. This is... Argus narrates all these endings. This is part of the reveal that he's been alive the whole time and Dagon didn't actually kill him. Anyway.
Is he alive or is he in the heavens or is he both?
He's alive in the void with the Elder Gods. That's where he's been hanging out.
He's not in the pyramid like one of these endings suggests.
He may have teleported into the pyramid.
Show all work.
Anyway, the quest had been an elaborate trap designed to pinpoint the true source of disruption in the realms. Oh, has it, Argus? Is that what the quest was for? Because this is like the fourth different, the true reason for the quest that you've come up with. Anyway, the quest was a trap to get Quan Chi. I swear. Really, guys, believe me. As punishment, Quan Chi was transformed into a Kami Dogu, the very medallion he had carried with him for so many years. The Elder Gods cast the magical item back in time at the exact point where Shinnok had first discovered it.
I have never before seen such a magnificent pile of trash.
So just to be clear, the actual canon before this point, and still canon, this isn't fucking canon, the actual canon is that Shinnok made the amulet. The power of the amulet is his own elder godhood taken out of his body and put into a bronze medallion that he forged himself.
Whenever someone says, disregard the Armageddon endings, this kind of shit is why.
Yeah, I promise you, Shinnok's amulet is not a time-traveling Quan Chi. I promise.
I'm just picturing the medallion flipping backwards through space and time, and the Doctor Who theme is playing. It's great. It's just great. Fuck this shit. Oh, me. My turn.
Go ahead.
You'll never guess who I pick.
I am eagerly awaiting.
Smoke's power lies in his nanobot technology. Microscopic machines course through his veins, constantly repairing and altering his being. This is true. But when infused with the power of Blaze, his nanobots took on a life of their own. Multiplying at an exponential rate, they were soon numerous enough to consume Edenia, transforming the entire realm into a mass of sentient gray material that calls itself Smoke.
Planet Smoke!
Planet Smoke! It's a smoke world, we just live on it.
Now, I have to say, this is not an ending that, like, is batshit insane and makes no sense.
There is a kind of logic to it.
So in real world science, there is something called like the gray goo theory, which is the fear that nanotechnology, if we invented it and it got out of control, it could take over the whole planet and turn Earth into a ball of gray goo. Okay. So that's kind of what they're referencing here. The problem is that this is an ending that doesn't really have anything to do with Tomas Verbata's personality. That it doesn't speak to the character, it's just a gag.
Yeah, like, the character has undergone, at this point, a couple of games worth of struggle between the man and the machine, and, you would expect an ending of his to provide some sort of closure to that, and it's just kind of, well, no, not really. Planet Smoke! It's just not terrible, but it's so very silly. And I've
got a gag image, a meme picture I like to post on the Discord where I took the Planet Hollywood logo, colored it gray, and just crudely scribbled over the word Hollywood and wrote smoke over top.
Pretty great.
Yeah. Okay. Whose turn is it?
I actually want to... Here's a good one. Sectors. Upon defeating Blaze, the power that surged through Sector linked him with his fellow cybernetic ninjas Smoke and Cyrax. Becoming one mind, they were joined in an abomination of flesh and technology. The realms will soon tremble at the coming transformation. All will bow to the new god. So Sector used the power of a god to merge himself with Cyrax and Smoke. Is that what you want, buddy? Is that what you're into?
All hail the new god. Its name is Triborg.
It's just Triborg.
Yeah.
It's just fucking Triborg.
All right. All right. I got one. I'm going to read this. It's Noob Saibot's ending.
Okay.
With a flash, Blaze was defeated, and Noob Saibot found he was no longer standing atop the ancient pyramid, but in the center of a darkened arena. From the shadows, a figure slowly emerged. It was Sub-Zero, the warrior Noob had been before being slain by Scorpion. Sub-Zero had come to regain control of their divided soul. The two clashed, but neither could best the other. In the end, what emerged was a being that was neither Noob Saibot nor Sub-Zero, but something new.
You what, mate?
I don't... So he's half evil? He's Bihan, but he's half evil? What's the new?
So the power from Blaze caused him to confront his old self in his mind? Is that what's happening here? But why? This whole thing kind of implies that they're separate personalities.
Which is not the case.
It isn't. It doesn't
No,
make any kind of
there's
sense.
never, like, Deception was super clear that Noob Saibot is just Han accepting what he wants to be.
Has always been all along.
There is no, just like there's no mind control on Scorpion. Quan Chi has to trick Scorpion into doing things for him because Scorpion has free will. Noob Saibot also has free will. So yeah, that one's frustrating.
Okay, whose turn? Shad, your turn.
Meat was an experiment who escaped Shang Tsung's flesh pits before he could be completely formed. As the other combatants fought, Meat rushed unseen to the top of the pyramid, defeated Blaze. Godlike energy enveloped him, giving him the power to shapeshift. With the ability to become anyone, Meat lost his sense of identity and disappeared into obscurity. There is no finer code for please stop asking us about this character than is what is presented right here.
Yeah.
This is meta commentary. Stop it. Some things are best left in the past. We're sorry we ever made this joke. Please go away. Please just, God, stop with the meat requests.
But I like him. I just think he's neat.
Well, Razor.
I just think he's meat.
Yeah.
All right, Razor, your turn.
Okay. Let's see. So, can I do two? Because my first one is super short. I think it's the shortest one in the game.
Go ahead.
Because I wanted to just check out what Johnny Cage got because of all the buildup of Johnny could be the hero. Johnny Cage defeated Blaze, and the power of the gods rushed through him. He gained superior strength and dexterity, but more important, a new insight into his existence. With the help of Shaolin Masters, he renounced his superficial former life and became enlightened.
I guess that's a good ending.
That's it. It's three sentences. It's the shortest one, I think. I mean, it's nothing stupid. It makes sense. But boy, is it short.
It's short, and you know what? It probably informs the way people look at his original bio as being the start of this new awakening for him, even though he's being duped. They're trying to give him something in Armageddon, and it's to be appreciated.
All right, what's your second one, Razor?
All right, the second one, I wanted to do one that's fun, so here's mocap.
Yeah!
I'm reading that now.
Yeah. The fury of Blaze's destruction killed all those present at the final battle. Mocap was ripped apart, his soul cast into the Edenian sky. His name is taught in Edenian astronomy to this day. He is the constellation Mocap. Legends will forever tell of how the Earthrealm warriors saved Edenia from Armageddon.
Wow.
So, because he has glowing lights all over his body, he becomes stars.
He was always a star.
I love it. That was actually, like, if you're gonna do a joke ending, do it with a joke character and actually make it a good joke.
Okay. All right. I got one.
Okay.
The power of Blaze drew chi from all the combatants and funneled into Jarek. He suddenly felt as if death itself were guiding his actions.
Yeah.
Laughing maniacally, he sealed off the crater and unleashed a storm of fatalities upon his fellow warriors. None could escape the maelstrom of deadly energy. When at last the tempest abated, Sub-Zero's spine lay quivering next to Kano's still beating heart. An armless Jax knelt beside the two halves of Kung Lao's body. Jarek had finished them all.
Yeah. He does all the fatalities.
No, guys. These are not fatalities. This is a multality. Okay. We've done the thing.
All right. I would like to pinpoint a few.
You jumping ahead in the line, sir.
Okay, go ahead. You go first.
Because I wanted to do just that because we were talking about Shao Kahn earlier and the implication he's a god of war.
Yeah.
Blaze was no match for Shao Kahn the Conqueror, with a K.
Mm-hmm.
His strength increased tenfold, but forces of light could not fend off his final invasion as he merged each realm with Outworld. But his ultimate triumph was soon to be his downfall. With nothing left to conquer, Shao Kahn was driven to madness.
This one's technically canon. This one's the premise of MK9.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It really does like hammer home the fact that he feeds off of war, off of conflict, off of conquering things.
Yeah, I mean,
It's what drives him and keeps him going.
I mean, that was the backstory of why he took Onaga's throne, is that as an advisor, he was in charge of Onaga's war efforts to conquer all of Outworld. But once all of Outworld was conquered, there was nowhere left to go to war with, and Shao Kahn got fucking bored. And so he decided, fine, get out of my way, I'm going to invade other realms.
It's his destiny. It is who he is. He can't fight it.
He's got to always be finding new things to conquer. Yeah. But what the ones I wanted to highlight, there are 3 in particular that are not batshit insane. One of them is a little bit goofy, but all 3 of them, I think, could have been premises for where to take these characters. Not just in a sequel, but they could have been used as a bio. And I'll give the first example so you can see what I mean. Killed in the shockwave of Blaze's violent death, Su Hao's corrupt soul descended into the Netherrealm. As his soul began to regain a physical body, Su Hao became his true self, a demon of emptiness and desolation. Leading an Oni horde, he defeated Shinnok and his minions. He now sits upon the throne of the Netherrealm. So, if you remember back to Deadly Alliance, the premise of Su Hao is that his artificial heart affects his emotions to the point that he doesn't have any emotions. He's a being of perfect logic who is the ultimate soldier who's great at following orders because he doesn't have any feelings. So when he dies, that emptiness, that lack of any feeling or emotion, becomes the defining aspect of his soul. And it turns him into a demon, sort of like how torture turned Draman into a demon. I think this should be his fucking bio. I think Su Hao should have a redesign in Armageddon where he's like a red-skinned demon man with a big, like, black hole sucking hole in his chest instead of the laser shooting heart. Obviously, since Armageddon is made entirely out of reused assets, they weren't going to create a new skin for a character like Su Hao. But if they were making a game with the full resources without the rush and the lessened budget of Midway dying, if you're going to bring Su Hao back after he died in Deadly Alliance, that's how you should do it.
When I was doing my own set of bios, I had him like confronted by a demon who I said was, without saying that it was actually Belloc, giving him a nice little cameo, but I had him be offered a position as one of like Shinnok's chief enforcers, if not his new general himself or something like that. Yeah. And I had him accept with the realization that this is literally everything that he wanted. So yeah. So it does make absolute sense.
Yeah, in my own fan fiction, like my sequel ideas for Armageddon, I suggest that I bring back Draman as a major villain in the Netherrealm because Shinnok and Quan Chi are gone. I have Draman sort of fighting for the throne of Netherrealm to replace them. And since I didn't bring Moloch back, I have Su Hao acting as Draman's second in command. But there's a twist there where at the end, Su Hao turns on him in order to put Dagon on the throne because he's still loyal to Dagon.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the other endings, Kano. For months, the Red Dragon had kept Hano hidden in their mountain stronghold, an unwilling test subject for a new process designed to transform humans into dragons. Kano escaped, however, before they could finish. Infused with the godlike energy of Blaze, the process was rejuvenated. Kano was transformed into a black dragon human hybrid. I've talked about how I wish that Kano's design in the game had, like, if you replaced his eye plate with, like, a patch of dragon scales or something. I just think, Kano has been exactly the same guy for 30 fucking years. What is it, 34 now at this point?
Something very like that.
It would be nice just to see his design change a little bit, and you could still keep the idea of him missing half his face and there being something there with this dragon experiment in his DNA shit.
Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting thing to do with him, especially for Armageddon, because you're gonna kill him off and stop using him after that anyway, because even if Armageddon wasn't the end of the MK universe, there are a lot of characters it should be the end of, characters who have sort of outlived their usefulness, and Kano is definitely on the top of that list.
Oh yeah, so
I'm gonna kill him, Why not do something cool with him before you kill him off?
In a theoretical post-Armageddon game, 3/4 of this cast need to fucking die.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah. And all right.
The third ending that I wanted to point out is, like, this could be true. This is something that's interesting that you could do with this character, is Kai. The power of Blaze opened Kai's mind, and he became psychically linked to the One Being. He could see the One Being's dreams from which all of reality is formed. In deep meditation, Kai allowed his mind to wander the realms in search of knowledge. He witnessed the rise of Shao Kahn and his eventual demise at the hand of Liu Kang. Khan didn't die, though. Why did they say demise? Anyway, the return of the Dragon King and the final battle at the pyramid. But when Kai looked to the future, he saw nothing.
I think it's the only time in this game the One Being is directly mentioned.
Yeah, actually. So what's interesting about this one to me is that Kai's character from the end of MK4 was searching for enlightenment. He was the kind of guy who would become like a hermit on a mountaintop and just meditate his life away, pondering the secrets and mysteries of the universe. So the idea that if he, achieved enlightenment, it would link him psychically to the One Being in this way makes a lot of sense. And then I think you could have Kai appear in a future game as, like, we need advice. We need to know, like, some kind of thing. Like, maybe a Shaolin character needs special training beyond what Kung Lao and Bo Raicho can give them. So they climb the mountaintops and find the legendary hermit. He is the Guru Kai. I think that could be a cool thing to do with him.
So, shameless plug, again, for my own bit of fanfic. But, when I was writing my bio for Kai for my theoretical version of Armageddon, trying to fill in all the blanks as possible, I had him, like, doing the typical wandering the realms thing that characters often do, because that's what MK4 establishes that he starts doing with Raiden staff and whatnot. But I wrote him as kind of gaining an intimate enough knowledge of the realms to understand how each one feels and being in kind of in tune with the natural ebb and flow of the cosmos. And the more he travels through portals, the more he starts to, like, sense that there's something at the center of all realms. And I kind of do that to, like, bring him to the knowledge beforehand that the One Being is out there, and that he shares this knowledge with, like, the rest of the heroes that they're gathering at Sindel's palace. And he's like, there's something bad out there, and I think it's actually waking up. And
the interesting thing,
I have him talk with all of them about that, and, like, Sindel's like, yeah, this is, like, the legend of the One Being and shit. So I tried to make Kai as important as I possibly could in my telling of this thing.
There is a bit in Ermac's Deception ending where, after he helps Liu Kang save the 5 mind-controlled characters, he can psychically sense the One Being because Onaga's plan is nearing completion. He's about to merge the Kamidogus and become the One Being, and then Shujinko has to go in and stop him. So it's like, we've already established that if you're a powerful enough psychic, you can sense the One Being.
So yeah, I would have Kai share that intuition with the rest of them, and Ermac and Sindel would, like, elaborate upon that. I think there's a real I think that we share similar thoughts about Kai, that he could be the Shaolin that like relies on knowledge. He is that guy sitting at the top of the mountain meditating for months on end. You know, that's his natural conclusion. That's his character arc.
I'm reminded of there's a bit in Avatar: The Last Airbender season 2 where Aang is like on this journey trying to figure out how to control the Avatar state because he can't use it at will. And so he goes to train with like a Hindu-inspired mountain guru hermit character who teaches him about the 7 chakras in the points of the body. And that's sort of how I've always imagined what you would do with Kai post MK4. But yeah, do you have an ending that's
so was it? Yeah,
I was about to say.
Right. All right. Okay.
I like how we just sort of decided to start doing this in shifts naturally, and now we have a triangle going on.
I got one. The energy of Blaze shattered Ermac, separating him into the many warriors who comprised his being. Now each with his own physical form, the Ermacs are linked psychically and act according to their collective consciousness. No longer a mere fusion of warrior souls, Ermac has become an army.
We are many. Yes.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not dumb, but it just makes him into something less interesting.
Yeah, that is kind of the thing. And I mean, that's going to happen with a lot of characters if you gave them godlike power and followed whatever their powers are to its highest, like Omega level mutant conclusion. It's usually something a little bit lesser as a character, less interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, in some of these, it's the obvious problem that arcade endings have always had, where the non-canon ones just go, and then he won and conquered the world.
They really weren't planning for a future beyond this.
It's like, that's, Frost is just, she resurrects the ancient cryomancers and takes over the realms with them. That's all it is.
Her strength increased. She took the Dragon Medallion from Sub-Zero again and got her freezing power jacked up, and then she puts the souls in the bodies of the current Lin Kuei and has an army that conquers the realms. That's it.
That's it.
Now we've just covered Frost.
Yep.
I'm deleting these from a little screen cap of the select screen as we go. Just make sure you don't forget anyone.
How many do we have left?
Fair bit, actually. We should speed this up.
Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to quickly skim over Kira and Cobra's.
Do it.
Okay, so because of his victory over Blaze, Cobra's strength was increased 1,000-fold. Emboldened, he demanded the Elder Gods declare him Lord of the Realms. They assented, but added that no lord should be without his lady. Cobra chose Kira to rule at his side, and the Elder Gods transformed her into a goddess of death. With a kiss, Kira extinguished Cobra's life force and reduced his body to dust. Let all those who make demands of the Elder Gods beware. And then the flip side, Kira defeated Blaze and attained divine power, but in the battle, Cobra had been slain. Kira channeled her newfound energy into Cobra's body, slowly returning him to life. As Cobra regained consciousness, he reveled in the surge of godlike power and prevented Kira from severing their bond. Cobra devoured her life force and stole the prize, becoming immortal. He felt no shame in his betrayal. Kira was weak. She should have left him dead. That is the Black Dragon way. Okay, so both of these present the idea that one of them is like in love with the other, and then the other turns on them. That was not a thing in Deception. These two were co-workers, and their final job was to kill each other.
I kind of like the dynamic, though. It's so petty and stupid. It's like, God, he's such a dipshit, but he's so hot. She's such a bitch, but she's so hot. I find it believable in a silly yet kind of authentic way.
Look, the fact that the one ends up killing the other is amusing. I get what they're going for, and I appreciate that.
It feels logical.
But I don't want people who might ship these characters together to get anything. I don't think you should validate that.
I don't think that's...
These two aren't supposed to like each other. They're supposed to kill each other. They're supposed to get the broken pool cue. We're having tryouts.
You don't have to like each other to want to do the nasty. All right, so we've discovered We've covered female Lady Chameleon already. We didn't mention the fact that she, accidentally turns everyone into raptors. You're a raptor, I'm a raptor, she's a raptor, everyone gets a raptor. So that's female chameleon, not just Shao Kahn.
Yeah, she
Now
got everybody.
Now let's go on to Dude. As the battle raged, Chameleon camouflaged himself and raced to the top of the pyramid unseen. There he defeated Blaze and the ethereal power overtook him. Immortality was now his. Underline this next bit. Though he had been ever present throughout the crises of the realms, from Liu Kang's first victory to the return of the Dragon King, he had remained hidden from sight, waiting for his moment to come. That moment had arrived. From this day forth, the realms will know Chameleon as the true champion of Mortal Kombat.
Yep. That's his bit.
He's in every game. You just can't see him.
He's always
John
there.
Cena.
He was in every game. Yep, he's just in hiding, waiting for his moment.
Choose to take this as 100% canon. At least the statement about him always being around but never seeing. I like to write him as Shao Kahn's ultimate real enforcer and spy, the one person who he actually does feel complete trust in and who actually is utterly loyal to him. Point of fact, I have it written so that Shao Kahn gives Chameleon his powers to turn to anyone he wants, using a bit of borrowed Netherrealm sorcery. But that's just a me thing. But I choose to take this behind-the-scenes, always-hidden thing as absolute fact.
Male Chameleon is a gag character, and this is the gag, and they followed through on the gag. I can't be upset about that.
You can't disprove it either. Chameleon is in every background. He's in your apartment.
He's in my apartment. He's in the walls. He's watching you right now.
Yeah. He's on the line. He's been part of this call the entire time. There were 4 people here.
All right, I got one.
Go for it.
Shoot.
When the godlike power of Blaze flashed through Reiko's body, he felt his old desire for power returned more intensely than ever before. Now more powerful than even Shao Kahn, Reiko defeated the Emperor and claimed his helmet. As he placed it on his head, his body fused with it, transforming him into a warlord of unprecedented savagery.
All hail Reiko Kahn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously playing on the whole, why did Reiko wear Shao Kahn's helmet that people remember. That's what.
It is interesting that it references an old desire for power. Like, implying that it's something that he used to want, but he kind of maybe got over. And that he's just been contented to serve as a general. But hey, now that I'm here, and now that I have the opportunity...
Might as well.
This is not what I qualify as a bad ending.
No.
It sounds right.
It's one of the few that makes sense. Okay, here's an amusing one. The heat of Blaze wrapped itself around Cabal's hook swords and transformed them into fiery blades of vengeance. Crossing them above his head, Kabal challenged Movado atop the pyramid, seeking to end their rivalry once and for all. In an epic hook sword battle, Movado could not withstand the fury of Kabal and his enhanced weapons. Never one to admit defeat, Movado took his own life by performing harakiri. Standing atop the pyramid, Kabal raised Movado severed head high so all would know the Black Dragon clan's superiority.
There can be only one using hook swords.
They could not think of anything for these fucking characters other than hook swords.
Yeah. What does Movado say? That's kind of hook swords.
That's kind
Movado's. Movado says, okay, Movado felt the fire of Blaze awaken something within him. Focusing his mind, he found he could control anyone bearing the red dragon symbol. Telepathically guiding his clan in battle, Movado quickly subdued the special forces and the Black Dragon clan. He then tattooed their faces with the mark of the red dragon so they would serve him. As his forces grew, Movado gained full control of Earthrealm.
Well, it's not just hook swords, I'll give him that.
All right. It's also my logo.
Greg, your turn.
Okay. When Jack absorbed the power, the cybernetics in his arms grew and permeated his entire body. It was transformed into a full cyborg. He became aware of a controlling neural chip that had been implanted in his brain by Sector. Enraged, Jack defeated Sector and claimed leadership over the cyborg ninja clan, the Takunin. It is unknown if he will ever return to the Special Forces.
Well, there you go.
Can I just say I think it's very weird that the magic power of the gods that Blaze grants you can affect technology?
Everything is magic if you think about it in a certain way.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like defeating Blaze grants your wish, but I don't know why it would do that to Jax.
Because Jax wished to turn the tables on Sector. Oh, you put a controlling chip in my brain? Let me control your brain. Nah.
I mean, the part of interest here is the controlling chip. Like,
yeah.
We know now what Sector was doing with Jax while he had him under his control.
You know what's interesting is that Jax's arms, like the art design, they cover his shoulder blades, but they don't actually go up his spine into his brain like Doc Ock arms in the Tobey Maguire movie do. Like, that's not a thing.
All right. Is it me next? Where are we
Go
ahead. Shit. I choose you, Pikachu. As the shockwave caused by Blaze's death rattled the surrounding crater, the pyramid on which Reptile stood began to crumble. A fissure opened to reveal a sarcophagus of familiar design. Reptile unlocked this curious artifact to find a female Zaterran. As she awoke, Reptile felt himself slowly reverting back to his humanoid form. The glory of Zaterra will return once more.
Isn't he already in his humanoid form? Like, his primary costume is the Shaolin Monks one.
Yes. It is. It's in Conquest.
Also, yeah, it is in that's the one he's wearing in the fucking story mode. The other thing is...
Here's the whole fucking matriarch thing, apparently.
Yeah, so the
fleshed
whole
out to its... There's something to it, apparently.
Yeah, the bit here is that he finds a female Zaterran. So, being around Chameleon does nothing for you. Just fuck her. That one is... She doesn't count. She doesn't count.
Neither of their endings reference each other. It's fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
I guess they just felt they were done with each other by this point.
She's not good enough to be a queen. This random... Why? Okay, did Blaze's magic create the Zaterran in the sarcophagus in the pyramid? Or did Argus bury a Zaterran in his pyramid for no reason?
He had sex with her and had to dispose of the evidence. It's what Argus does. He has sex with things and people.
I can buy that.
I don't know if I'm joking or not. We just know that he does these things.
Jesus. Just fucking Jesus.
Filthy Argus.
Okay. Here's a dumb one. So in all of these endings, almost, so-and-so becomes a god.
Yes.
Here's the only one where there's any kind of problem with that. The Dragon Medallion, having amplified the godlike power granted him by his victory over Blaze, Sub-Zero was no longer a mere warrior but an ice god. He was, however, a false god. He had become a deity without the consent of the Elder Gods, who sent their champions to hunt him down and destroy him. I take it back. This is shorter than Johnny Cage's.
What a non-ending.
Also, what do you mean without the consent of the Elder Gods? They put Blaze's prize in Blaze. They automatically consent because it's their fucking magic that did it.
I mean, Delia made him.
Yeah, but Delia created the fire elemental, and then it specifically says that the power of the prize that was put inside Blaze was given to them by the Elder Gods to make the plan go.
I don't think Argus had to beg them for that.
And none of the other characters in their endings who become a god did the Elder Gods go, you did that, you're not allowed to do that, we're gonna kill you.
Is it possible Ed wrote this one?
Yeah, what is it with... Scorpion's my favorite, so fuck Sub-Zero, is that Ed's thing?
I don't know.
It sometimes feels like it's coincidentally more than one game feels like Sub-Zero is being fucked over for no reason. Why is that?
Well, I mean, starting with the NetherRealm era, it always had Scorpion beating Sub-Zero, so...
Yeah, like he wins every fight in the trailers. He wins every fight in the story modes.
All right, whose turn is it?
I guess it's my turn. The power released by his victory over Blaze opened a portal, and Kung Lao found himself in Earthrealm hundreds of years in the past. His ancestor allowed him to enter the Mortal Kombat tournament instead. And Kung Lao defeated Goro and won the tournament, becoming a legend. As a result, Liu Kang never competed, and Kung Lao's rivalry with him never came to be. And this is basically the thing that confirmed that Shaolin Monk's characterization that nobody liked.
Yeah, the idea that there's a rivalry.
Okay.
Here's my question. If you stopped Great Kung Lao from winning the tournament, wouldn't that then change Great Kung Lao's future, and he might never meet the woman who gives birth to his son, who gives birth to their son, who yada yada yada, who gives birth to Kung Lao?
Well,
grandfather paradox or no grandfather paradox?
Well, that probably has already happened because this is before he fights Goro, which he obviously has to.
We don't know when Great Kung Lao. I guess if this is after he beat Shang Tsung, but before he beat Goro, then the kid could already be alive. Sure.
Let's move on to something wholesome.
Are you allowed, if you're the champion of the tournament, are you allowed to not fight in the tournament and let someone else fight for you? Is that an actual thing? I feel like the Elder Gods would have a problem with that.
I suppose you could abdicate or put a representative in your place.
I feel like there would be a rule against that. I don't know.
Anyway, let's move on to something more wholesome and fun.
Okay.
When he defeated Blaze, elemental power surged through Cyrax and shattered his cybernetics. He was human once again. He allied with Sub-Zero and with him confronted the cyborgs Smoke and Sector. In an epic battle of men versus machines, Cyrax and Sub-Zero defeated their longtime foes. The cyborgs will be reprogrammed to serve the Lin Kuei once more, until they too can be reverted to their human forms. You know what I call that? Surprisingly satisfying. I like it.
I suppose. I do feel like I kind of like the image I have of Cyrax in the old timeline of him not actually having a problem with cybernetics, just not wanting to be mind control. Like there's an acceptance to him in like 4 and Deadly Alliance. I didn't I signed up for this. I wasn't against it. I just want my soul back.
I'm sure in time he might want something more as long as he gets more, the more he gets his soul back. I'm not saying that he's like hating what he is, but he's not going to say no to the opportunity if it comes along, you know?
I mean, the way I would compare it, like Jax doesn't have a problem with his arms. He chooses to wear those, you know?
Well, they were always cybernetics. He never had the forces not forced on him.
True.
He like
But again, like
there's things.
Like MK9 introduced the idea that Cyrax was taken by force. Before that, like MK4 heavily implies he volunteered and regretted it later.
The wording in 3 is he was selected for it. And the implication thereof is he didn't resist because he does it because, you know, it's his job, it's his duty.
Yeah, but like Gold has like his bio is kind of like
Remember, it's a gold bio. It's an MK4 period bio. Not the best.
Yeah, but like maybe it was the dialogue he has in his ending where he sort of talks about like he didn't realize what he was missing until it was gone was the gist of the talk between him and Sonya and Jackson. That the idea of like he had no problem signing up for the initiative, but now that he realizes that he doesn't have a soul and how it feels, like he's starting to get the free will back and realize what he's missing. Now he wants it.
At any rate,
and it's that's something that would make him different from Smoke. Like I like that each of the cyber ninjas has their own outlook on the thing. That Smoke is the extreme I don't want it. Sector is the extreme I do want it, Cyrax was in the middle.
Yeah.
He could take it back. He could not. But I mean, he is grateful to have it back in the gold ending, you know?
Still,
So,
I mean,
I don't think he's just gonna like say no to having his full body back.
this is one of the closer things to having a happy ending in Armageddon. I will grant that.
It's something that doesn't end with Cyrax killing himself. We should be thankful for
He
that.
does that a lot these days, yeah.
And there's no Deus Machina God bullshit. I think this is honestly one of the better ones.
Mhm.
Next
Who is
up,
left?
we have yet to cover Rain for some reason, Striker, Dairu, Darius,
Serena.
Fujin, Serena,
Well, he's doing them in order. Get through them in order.
Okay.
Boraicho, Hotaru, Nightwolf. Did we just do Jax?
We did Jax.
Okay.
Okay.
I forgot to delete him. Kenshi, Shujinko, Taven, lol,
Mhm.
Zombie Kang, Shinnok, Raiden.
No, we did Liu Kang. We did Liu Kang.
Did we do Liu Kang?
We did Liu Kang. Yeah, he his body and soul merge, and he defeats.
Right.
Raiden
Okay.
back
So
to
we did
Earthrealm.
Liu Kang. Shinnok, Raiden, Dagon, Sonya, Melina. Did we do Melina? I feel like we might have done Melina.
We did Melina.
We
did Melina.
mentioned her in passing that like she takes Katana's space, so we'll
Yeah.
consider her done. Makes sense.
Did we do Sonya? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did Sonya.
We did not do Sonya.
Jade, Ashura, Lime, Sindel, Natara,
We did Sindel.
Serena. Did we do Sindel?
We did Sindel.
Right. Try to the just. Right. I knew we covered some of them, but not all of them. Serena, Shiva, Baraka, Motaro, Havoc, Drummond, Moloch, Goro, Onaga, Blaze.
Jesus.
So I think
A lot of these are just boring. Like and where is like Darius, Dairu, and Hotaru are all very just kind of bland, nothing endings.
Let's see. Dairu.
Dairu gets a golden suit of armor, uses it to defeat Shao Kahn and take over Outworld, but he becomes like a good ruler and Outworld is peaceful.
Yeah. I think Blaze's ending is basically just Armageddon happens.
Yeah, nobody could beat him, so the realms are destroyed. That's Blaze's ending.
He was unstoppable, defeated all who challenged him. As foreseen by Delia, Armageddon began in the Adenian crater and spread throughout the realms, shattering reality until there was nothing.
And
Yeah.
that's
You lose.
That's basically the one being waking up, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's a little weird. Like Dairu taking over Outworld is almost in the realm of like Tanya and Dragons or Kintaro's Four Sword Adventure, where it's like, what does this have to do with this character? But
Not a goddamn thing.
since Dairu is like a loner mercenary who travels from realm to realm, I guess it doesn't really matter to him which realm he claims. And he was almost an Outworld character. Like the original plan for him was to be in Deadly Alliance in Movato's place as the bodyguard of the dragon of the fucking Deadly Alliance. But he was like cutting room floor, and they brought him into the next one.
Darius is kind of funny. Upon defeating Blaze, the pyramid shrank and turned into a golden ring. The ring granted Darius access to my vault, where the treasure was that was rightfully due to my sons Taven and Dagon. The powerful artifacts allowed Darius to finally defeat Hotaru and conquer the realm of order. But those items were meant only for my lineage to wield. I have now sent Taven and Dagon on another quest. They must work together to defeat Darius and get his shit back. Get their shit back.
Yep,
It's just Darius steals your shit. That's all there is.
That's what it does.
That Striker's ending is basically he becomes the Punisher.
Yeah, it's another vigilante thing. The fire blaze burned away Striker's previous notion of justice. The power coursing through his soul inspired him to fight injustice on his own terms. No longer would he allow himself to be confined by the law. He would strike evil from the shadows, vigilante who would show no mercy to the corrupt. He went into seclusion to prepare for his one-man assault on the wicked. Soon all the realms will know the name Striker.
Yep. Did we cover Nightwolf? I don't think we did.
We did not.
We did not do Nightwolf.
All right. His is basically just he becomes a living ghost and he brings Liu Kang.
Yeah.
back.
The power Nightwolf received from Blaze carried him to the spirit world, an existence between realms from which shamanic power originates. He became a living ghost, the ultimate shaman. Nightwolf found his ally Liu Kang lost in spirit energy and guided him back to the physical world. Nightwolf then reunited Liu Kang with his body.
It's a nice one. It's a good one.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. And we kind of covered Shujinko's ending already, but just he goes mad with power.
Yeah, we kind of went over that. I mean, Hotaru's, like I said, boring. The power of Blaze transformed Hotaru into a being of pure order. All would bow before him or be transformed by his gaze.
And Havoc
there was
basically the same.
Yeah, there was one whom Hotaru would see pay for his crimes against conformity, the Cleric of Chaos, Havoc. The light of Hotaru poured into Havoc's mind and transformed him into an agent of order, Hotaru's second in command. There's a lot of these endings that's just, I'm going to take my worst enemy and mind control them.
Yeah.
Well, none of you are doing it. I'm going to do it. I'm stealing it for myself. You can't stop me. Flames lashed up Motaro's body as Blaze released his energy. The searing pain consumed Motaro as he staggered about the top of the pyramid. When at last the fire dissipated, Motaro felt the familiar sensation of walking on 4 legs. He had undone the curse that had transformed his centaur race into monsters. With renewed purpose, Motaro vowed that the Shokan would pay dearly for their treachery.
Transformed his centaur race into minotaurs, which is not what they are. They are satyrs. A minotaur is a different thing.
Of note, on MortalKombatWarehouse.com, the last sentence is Motaro vowed that the MK team crossed out Shokan would pay dearly for their treachery. That's been there since back in the day. It's never going away.
Nice.
Next.
Let's see. We technically covered Shinnok already.
Yeah.
Yes, he sends his doppelganger out.
Yeah. He has a clone. The Blaze makes the clone real, and now there are 2 Shinnoks.
And
He's stuck at the second test. Face yourself.
Raiden's ending is basically he destroys all realms except Earth realm.
Yeah, I actually like this one, as generic as it sounds, because it does establish like a difference between him and Shao Kahn. Like when Shao Kahn was a protector god and then turned bad, his whole thing was, I must conquer every territory and bring them together in order to rule. Raiden's thing is, I must destroy the other territories to keep mine safe.
Doesn't fuck around.
And so it does actually serve as like, this would be the motivation goal of a Dark Raiden if you were to finally make that game instead of constantly Ed booting Dark Raiden back to Light Raiden all the fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see here.
Right.
Sonya's ending is basically...
Go on.
Sonya's ending is basically she kills Kano and all the Black Dragon and Red Dragon. Nothing really special about that.
Yeah, she just, she gains, I guess, heat vision. She can kill things with a gaze, and she uses it on the Black Dragon and Red Dragon clans. She
murders Kano first, then all the other ones.
Yeah.
And this fulfills her.
Is that a thing where, like, Kano has a laser eye, so I get laser eyes to kill him with? Is that the thing there? Like an eye or anything?
Must be. So Reigns is interesting. The half-brother of Taven and Dagon, Rain absorbed the power of Blaze and became a full god. I had not anticipated that the victor would be the son whose true identity I have hidden for so long. Whoops, I fucked up. I bestowed the title of Protector of Edenia on Rain, but my pride in my son was misplaced. He uses his power to enslave Edenia, and now that I have ascended to Elder God status, I am forbidden to stop him. This is one of 2 successive endings where it's like, we entrusted Rain with the power. Unfortunately, we fucked up.
Yeah, the same thing happens in 9.
It's great. Like,
womp
somehow
womp.
No one sees it coming either time.
Who could have imagined that this evil general of Shao Kahn would have misused the power, right?
What did he mean by this?
Okay, Havoc, infused with the power of Blaze, Cleric of Chaos.
Opposite of Otaru, basically.
Yeah, he becomes Chaos incarnate. His aura corrupted the stability of the realms, causing them to rip, tear, and reshape in grotesque ways. Soon, nothing remained that resembled the former universe. Havoc's dream had been realized. Ultimate chaos had been achieved. This is basically...
It makes sense. It sounds like he births the Cancerverse.
It's kind of what you end up traveling to in Chaos Reigns, the 12 DLC.
Yeah.
I would know nothing about that.
Except if Havoc wasn't actually powerful and somehow it happened anyway. He just got his fucking ass kicked by Noob Saibot.
What are you talking about?
It don't matter. None of this matters.
Let's see.
What's Chaos Reigns?
I don't know. A
Yeah.
mistake.
What's Prometheus?
Yeah, let's see. Jade's ending is pretty generic, I think.
Yes. Defeated Blaze transferred godlike power to Jade and instructed her to make true that which she most desired. So Blaze actually talks to this one and says, "You have the power to make the wish come true." As if controlled by some divine force, she let out a tremendous shriek that split open the pyramid. As she inhaled, the forces of darkness were sucked inside the ancient structure. Then it resealed itself, trapping them there for eternity. Jade was celebrated as a hero, and the pyramid stood as a reminder to those who would threaten Edenia. You're telling me none of them have the power to teleport out of the pyramid after it closes?
There's a magic field. The pyramid is magic.
All right.
That's one of the dumb ones.
They could not think of anything to come up with for Jade that would actually speak to who Jade is as a person. Just she's good, so she kills the bad guys.
She screams and then she sucks. There,
Sure.
I made the joke.
Good times.
It's a terrible ending.
We
Dagon.
kind of covered Dagon's ending.
Did we?
Well, I mean, we talked about in the previous that the gist of Dagon's ending is that it's the one that reveals Argus is alive.
Argus
But
is
the specific wording is, wounded, Dagon followed Taven to the pyramid. As Taven battled Blaze, Dagon stabbed the fire elemental from behind with the sword I'd left him. Thus, through treachery, did Dagon complete the quest. So he sneaks up and stabs Blaze while Taven's fighting Blaze. But before he could savor his victory, the pyramid shook and a recess opened, revealing the parents he had murdered, Delia and myself. We were, in fact, still alive. Our deaths feigned in an elaborate test created to reveal the true nature of our sons.
Purpose number 9,865 of the quest.
But this one actually does make sense with the rest of the game. Like, the quest was more about Taven and Dagon than it was about saving the realms, because Argus is a selfish asshole.
I wouldn't, in a theoretical sequel, have minded seeing this become an actuality.
Yeah. In my own fan fiction, I actually go with this ending, sort of. Like, what I say is that Dagon stabbed Blaze at the same time Taven did, so they both got half of the prize.
Error in blaze.exe.
Yeah. That way, Taven's ending comes true and Dagon's ending comes true, and there's no energy left to dissipate to the rest of the pyramid. So nobody gets killed or depowered or superpowered. Nothing happens. They just have to settle the fight. That's what I did anyway. The rest of the ending is, it's clear that Taven possesses the virtue required to defend Edenia. He will take my place as defender. Dagon, however, will be punished severely for the suffering he has caused.
Another fuck you ending.
In my version, they banish him to the Netherrealm.
Let's see here. Upon defeating Blaze, Bullrai Cho was transported to the heavens. He stood before me, a humble warrior unsure of his fate in the presence of a god. I looked into his soul and found that he was a good man and a powerful warrior. Outworld needed a protector, a task for which Bullrai Cho had more than proven himself worthy. At my request, the Elder Gods breathed their life force into him, transforming the once humble warrior into a god. Bullrai Cho had become protector of Outworld. I like it.
That seems fine.
I like it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's about time they got a benevolent ruler for once that isn't, like, an asshole.
Yeah.
Good dude for the bit.
Let's see. Here's Lee Mays. Filled with the energy of Blaze, Lee May had but one purpose for her newfound power. In retribution for slaying her people, she banished the souls of Quan Chi and Shang Tsung to an obelisk. Trapped inside the relic, they must fend off wave after wave of aggressors for eternity. Justice had finally been done. So she traps them in one of Taven's training missions.
It's dumb, but it's at least kind of funny, I guess.
I like that it references the training obelisks from story mode. It doesn't give Li Mei much character, does it?
18,000 years later. When does it stop?
Anyway, here's something. Here's Frost. Her strength increased. Frost once again took the dragon medallion from Sub-Zero and
I think we covered this.
We did this one.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah. She puts the souls of the ancient Cryo-Masters into the Lin Kuei and has an army to conquer the realm.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
She kind of kills him.
All these endings kind of blur together.
Yeah.
Take another one.
All right, Shiva's ending.
Yay.
At the moment of victory over Blaze, Shiva was blinded by a flash of energy. When she regained her sight, she found herself standing before the Elder Gods. They were clearly alarmed that neither Taven nor Dagon had completed the quest. Their desire to prevent further turmoil prompted them to transform Shiva into a goddess of destruction. One by one, she laid waste to the realms using a powerful Kamidogu. When the realms reformed, nothing was as it had been. Why would you make her a goddess of destruction?
Because her name is Shiva.
Shiva has become Shiva, destroyer of worlds.
As in the Hindu Shiva, Shiva.
It's a pun. It's a pun, but it's not a terrible one.
There is another such pun in the Kira and Cobra endings. Kira is the Japanese word for killer. So she became a goddess of death. It's like if you say English, like Kira, killer.
Yeah,
Kira.
That's why that guy has that name in Death Note.
All right, next up. Time for some disappointment. Having defeated Blaze, Goro had attained the power of a god. But to the forces of darkness, his power was not meant for a mere Shokan to wield. Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, Shao Kahn, and Onaga all had anticipated victory only to have it stolen from him. The force surrounded Goro in a vain attempt to wrest the power from him. Goro laughed, raised his arms, and let forth an ancient Shokan battle cry. From out of nowhere, an army of Shokan warriors stormed the pyramid and slaughtered the 4 attackers. The Shokan race will rule Outworld forever. It's just our typical big dumb brute stuff.
Yeah. It's just they use the power to kill everybody and take over.
Motherfucker deserve better.
There's a joke in the professional wrestling community. So there was this guy, Bob Holly, aka Hardcore Holly, who was in the 90s a very unimportant wrestler. He was, just kind of a jobber, but he thought he was a big deal, and he was kind of a bully backstage. And there's a story about one time where the writers were asking the wrestlers for ideas, and his idea was, "Why don't you give me the belt?" And then they go, "And then what?" And then he yells, "And then I beat everybody." That's all he had.
All right, next up. Not too many of them left.
How about Natara?
Yes.
The gift of godlike power transformed Natara into a blood god. Horrified, the combatants fled from the pyramid, but none were spared her wrath. Beginning with Shao Kahn, she mutated each of them into her vampire slaves. With the most powerful warriors in the universe at her command, Natara and her unstoppable army easily conquered the realms. So again, generic bullshit, vaguely involving mind control, take over the realms, blah, blah, blah.
Next.
Who have we not done?
Natara had such a good bio.
It really did feel like she was really neutral against the whole conquest of all reality thing. It didn't feel like that was where her head was at.
Let's follow this up. Next in the chain is the power of Blaze purified Ashra completely. She was transformed into a being of divine light. Her radiance soothed even the darkest of souls. With new purpose, she traversed the realms in search of evil, pacifying the wicked. Her mission came full circle when at last she purified the sorcerer who would have her slain, Quan Chi. So, all that stuff about the Tusha being secretly evil, I guess, was written after this. Because this is just the deception shit.
Just unrelated. Bunch of shit unrelated.
Yeah.
What does a purified good guy Quan Chi even fucking look like?
I don't want to know.
Yeah, me either.
I feel like it explodes by
Did we
being.
do Serena? I don't know if we did.
I was expecting Racer to do Serena's.
I will do Serena's.
She's your girl.
Yeah, but
Do it.
I'm more interested in finding the bad endings, is the thing.
Come on, you deserve this nice
okay,
thing.
okay. Blaze had dissipated, but the power he had released flowed into Serena. She lay unconscious atop the pyramid until Sub-Zero revived her. Examining her hands, she found she had gained the ability to freeze.
Ability to freeze.
They even put a ... in there.
It's been a meme since 1997.
Serena confronted her old master Quan Chi and froze him solid. She and Sub-Zero hid the sorcerer in the Lin Kuei Temple, where he will forever remain suspended in a block of ice. I don't think that's very secure. I think there's better ways.
But it's not a fuck you ending. It's not a ridiculous generic blah blah.
I mean, I think
ending.
I think giving Serena ice powers is bland and uninteresting. But
it's a bit out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I dig it. You know,
There's a horse.
Her and Sub-Zero pair up and take out Quan Chi.
All right, who's next?
The forces of darkness defeated Blaze, and the Dragon King seized the prize for himself, attaining ultimate power. He immediately focused his wrath upon the one being he despised most, Shao Kahn. Long again, Shao Kahn had stolen Outworld from him. Now Onaga would repay that treachery. Shao Kahn was beaten to the point of death, but Onaga would not see him die so quickly. He ordered Quan Chi and Shang Tsung to deal with the former emperor. While Onaga reclaimed his throne, Shao Kahn remained a captive in his own dungeon, tortured by those who had once pledged to him their allegiance. Actually, not that bad.
Yeah.
Although you'd think that having attained ultimate power, Onaga would have also ended the realms as...
Yeah, wouldn't he have done what he was trying to do with deception?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so...
Not bad, but also kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
All right, here. I don't think... Have we done Baraka? I don't know if we have.
We have not done Baraka.
All right, with the power of Blaze within him, Baraka would never again serve another. Summoning Shao Kahn and Naga before him atop the pyramid, he gave them a choice: submit to Lord Baraka or die. They responded by attacking the Tarkatan. In a flash, Baraka's blades grew to twice the normal length and pierced his former masters through their hearts. Flinging their bodies down the side of the pyramid, Baraka turned his attention to a more important matter: who would be his queen. He gave Melina a choice. She chose wisely.
I appreciate them bringing back the Baraka and Melina stuff from MK2 and UMK3.
Now, what I want to know is, does he also extend something else to twice its normal size and have her choose afterwards? Yes, I'm 10 years old.
Well, yeah, we'll leave that to your imagination.
All right, who do we got left? Do we do Kenshi and Fujin?
You did Kenshi.
We kind of covered Fujin, I think.
Yeah, we did Fujin.
Right,
we did.
Fujin. Okay, so both of those.
I think all that's left is Mulak and Draman.
Yeah.
And
so
did we discuss Taven? I don't know if we did get to Taven.
Well,
we can do Taven last because his is the
It
longest.
feels right. It feels
most
right.
intended to be canon. So Draman. The energy of Blaze unlocked the life force residing within Draman's mask. Unable to remove it, Draman became possessed by it and grew to 3 times his original size.
Every time I read it, it's funnier.
I don't know why the growing 3 times is necessary, but the power of the mask also fueled the rage within him. Unable to contain his fury, Draman turned on his former ally Moloch in an epic battle of demons. Moloch was defeated, but Draman's bloodlust has only just begun. So there's the hint of an idea here, like the Draman's mask, referred to in concept art as the face of Kun Lo, but never elaborated on beyond that. Where did it come from? What does it do? Could there be a life force inside it that can possess people? Why not? Who is Kun Lo?
Someone very angry.
We
Maybe
already
someone who
know
was sent back through time.
the mask is magical, and normally when Draman wears it, it allows him to control his rage and be sane. That could be the beginnings of a controlling mental influence. You know, another being living in the mask. I wish that they would fucking do more with Draman. That they would explain him and his past.
Anything with him.
Yeah, right.
You know that. There's the seed of an idea here, but sadly, the image that sticks with you the most is Draman is huge like Xbox.
Yeah, like he grows like the Grinch's heart. We don't need kaiju Draman. I don't know what that is for.
Next, the only destroyer Moloch absorbed the gift of godlike power from Blaze and was transformed into a destroyer of worlds. In a gesture symbolic of his new power, he slammed his fist against the pyramid, completely shattering the structure. Moloch then laid waste to Edenia, transforming it into a barren wasteland, not unlike the Netherrealm. Because he destroyed the Edenian portals, however, Moloch was trapped there, a victim of his own destructive rage. I think it also goes without saying that he is probably also gigantic.
Well,
anyway, fits, brainless, dumb, brute.
Yeah.
We did cover Shang Tsung, right? I think we did.
He made a Shao Kahn horsey.
Yes, he turned Shao Kahn into a centaur. We did that.
Yeah, okay. So all that's left is Taven, basically.
Feed the pony Khan some oats.
Jesus.
And yes, Taven is the last one.
All right.
Yeah, this one, it's basically the same as his Conquest ending, except this one's narrated by Argus.
Well, it's longer and it fills things in because, as we talked about, his Conquest ending says, okay, the Conquest ending is longer. The arcade one is shorter. But the Conquest one just says, instead of killing or annulling their powers, a third unforeseen outcome resulted. The quest did nothing to resolve the instability of the realms. It doesn't say what the third thing is. His arcade ending is where it says. Taven finally completed the quest by slaying Blaze with the sword I left for him in my temple. As intended, the godlike energy passed through him, transforming him into a full god. The surge of power then passed through the armor given to him by his mother, and was dispersed into every combatant within the crater. The result was intended to strip them of their special powers. But Blaze had been corrupted long ago by the Dragon King's holy men. Instead of nullifying the combatants' power, it made them stronger than before. The quest was a failure. May the Elder Gods forgive me. But I thought the true purpose of the quest was to find your successor, Argus. How did it fail? It found Taven, right?
So I think the general consensus about these endings is that, yeah, in terms of giving the series like closure, if it was the last one, it didn't really do a very good job.
Yeah, no, it totally has sequel hooks. It's fucking not the end.
You know, on reading all of these back, honestly, it really feels like maybe half of them are terrible. You know, there's more than I remember that are actually kind of satisfying.
I mean, here's the thing: there's like 5 or 6 that are like good material you could mine for a future story, and then the other like. There's 50% that are just the most baffling, insane shit you've ever read, and you're like, what were the fucking writers even doing? They were clearly asleep at the wheel.
For ideas.
Yeah, these people knew Midway was going out of business when they wrote this shit. And then there's the other, like, 25%, which just kind of comes off like the non-canon arcade endings in every other game.
You know, it shouldn't be forgotten that something that probably made them feel doubly disappointing at the time was like we were so used to all those picture and text endings, but to just have the single image, have the kata going on with the narration.
Yeah, just text over them doing the kata animations, and the kata animations are reused from Deadly Alliance's demo mode. They're not even new.
So there was this cheap feeling about the whole thing. I mean, it was impossible to get 64 bits of text, images, and narration for all of them, and it would have been nice, but just not.
It's
not
just
the world
like
we lived in.
so. Yeah, you've got like half of these endings are baffling trash, and the other half are just kind of what you would see in UMK3. It's like, or Trilogy. Trilogy didn't have pictures for some of the endings either. And it's just kind of like, whatever, man. The whole story that this was the game designed to kill everybody off and reboot doesn't really hold water when you actually read these things and realize this game is actually not different than any other MK game. Every MK game has an end-of-the-world threat plot, and the good guys just win. And then there's a sequel. That's how they all go. Armageddon wasn't different. The only thing that was different was Midway going out of business.
Yep. Yeah. And
Guess that's it.
yeah, I just want to say we never really got a proper conclusion to Mortal Kombat, at least according to this timeline, I'd say.
No, we did not.
No, that's why I wrote my own. That's why I encourage everyone to write their own.
The conclusion to Mortal Kombat is the same conclusion you're going to arrive at if you read Marvel or DC comics. No character ever fucking ends. They just gradually, you get tired of it and you imagine your own ending for them.
Yeah.
Write your own.
If you're lucky, some writer like Jeff Johns' Green Lantern ends with a flash forward to the future of what all the characters would be like when they retire. And you know that future writers are not going to honor that, but it still gives you a place you can stop if you want to get off the ride. And I feel the same way about like Batman with the Nightfall Protocol and Arkham Knight, or Batman Beyond. Either one of those would make a perfectly good ending to Bruce Wayne's story.
Well,
and so you just kind of have to make your own headcanon and accept, like, they're not going to end it. This is how I would like it to have ended.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bruce and Selena hooked up. They deserve to be happy.
I mean, they were married in Earth 2.
Yeah, I don't know. Huntress was, I think, their daughter in Earth.
Yes, Helena Wayne, and then when they brought Huntress to the main timeline, they had to come up with Helena Bertinelli, a separate character, because Bruce didn't have a daughter. I kind of like Helena Bertinelli better, though, like personality and backstory wise.
She's dating Jason Todd in the comics now, I think.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
I think so. There's a certain sense there.
I guess Jason's not with Artemis anymore then. Because there was a team of Artemis, Jason, and Bizarro.
Oh yeah, that's roughly where I stopped reading.
Yeah.
Not because that was bad, it just drifted away from comics at that point in time. But yeah, apparently there's a new Red Hood series that just launched, and like they're pairing the two of them up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow. So ends our coverage of Armageddon, I guess.
Yep, I think we're done for now.
Yeah,
we are indeed.
That's since we don't really care, Chad and I, to revisit the NRS era at all. I think that's the end of these little.
You have my full blessing to go on without me. I just can't. It's not just the fact that I hate the NRS era.
I don't know if it's necessary. I think the
I think if you want to know what we think about the NRS era, you should look at the last 10 years of Nethercast broadcasts.
Yeah, we've said a lot. I like what would you say, Greg, was the purpose of these chats at the end of the day?
Maybe to remind people that there was some good stuff.
Yeah, right. It was, it was a look back at the old timeline was specifically what we've been doing. And now that we're at the end of the old timeline, I am content to stop there until, like, maybe in a few weeks or months, come up with a subject that it will be an interesting chat.
I think we can take a little break for now.
Yeah.
It's not just about, like, for me, not liking the NRS games. It's that I need to do exactly what Dan Forden is doing now that he's left NRS and just reclaim a little bit of his life back. I need to not make these bi-weekly things anymore. I need to take time to do things that are not talking about Mortal Kombat, and I need to...
You and I both have been sort of trying to ease our way out of MK coverage over the past year or two. And for me, it's even longer because, like, people ask, yo, how come you don't do art anymore? How come you never finished your fan fictions? And it's, you know, it's been like almost 15 years since I did that stuff. And the reason is because I need a break from MK and I can't get one because we do all of these podcasts.
It's a bittersweet thing for me because, you know, with the collection coming out, I really want to talk about those old games a lot, and I wish we were... there's a part of me that wishes we were still doing that, like, release hype, build-up train thing that we did for every other game in the past, but it's not really there for Cyborg, it's not really there for you. I'm the only one it's there for because I'm passionate about these games, and
here's the thing.
I can't fucking wait to play WaveNet, I can't wait to play a fixed version of Trilogy, I can't wait to play MK4 again, but I understand...
Here's where my head is at when it comes to that, is I actually am really excited for the collection to come out. There are a lot of things about that I'm really looking forward to. My thing is, when I analyze the way that we used to do the weekly videos of, like, news for MKX, for MK11, it was so forced. Some weeks there's just no news, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be... I have never wanted to be the guy who makes the soy face in the thumbnail, you know? Exactly. I don't want to be forced hype man.
But now I feel like we're kind of on the opposite end of that spectrum where, like, we're so drained and tired that we... You know, MK95's 30th anniversary came, it passed, and none of us did anything to commemorate it. I wanted to, but...
I'm just not sure what we could do, because we've already done, like, a commentary of the movie. We can't...
I mean, we didn't even like do like a watch together, and I feel like we could have...
I think a lot of us watched the movie in our own private time. We just didn't get together in a voice chat for it, which maybe we should have.
I tried, man. I tried.
Sometimes it's a schedule thing. A lot of people, you know, have jobs. I believe the anniversary fell on a weekday.
It's possible. Oh, yes. It was Tuesday.
Yeah. For me, it was Tuesday.
It really was Tuesday, if I'm remembering right.
If, you know, we set aside time on the weekend, that would have worked.
Well, it was all Annihilation.
The thing is, like, I don't want to stop making content. I just want to stop that content being about MK all the time. Like, that's why I really love the Patron cast, that we get to play other video games. If I could go the next 10 years only doing Patron casts and then maybe come back and see how I feel about MK, maybe I could revive some of the feeling and do some artwork. I don't know.
You'd be there with MK where I kind of am with Batman right now. And it did take me about 10 years.
Sometimes you just have to take a break. We can't, you know...
Yeah.
Follow our autistic special interest all the way down into the ground when it gets that fucking long of a time.
Well, I'm going to put out that solo video I've been slowly putting together for a little while now. It's not huge, but I'm incapable of doing something spontaneous and just gushing. I have to, of course, plan everything out and make it into a goddamned, like, thesis statement, because that's just how I am. Fuck. But look forward to that really soon. And then for the post-launch, we'll see.
All right. But I think we can stop there for now. It's getting pretty late.
Oh, yes, I'm eating supper.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time, whenever that is.
Indeed. See you later, nerds.
Have a nice day.